know what it is. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. It's the people's house.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling to the wall. Power to the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Ballots in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops. Power plays all day, I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. Powers in the air. Big Zeus. Yeah. We knocking on the door. Big Zeus. We wanna hear you call. Yeah. Yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true, all I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked, this power never divides. Spitting for the block and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block, head busters make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, powers in the air. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear you call. Big Zeus. Big Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. You know what we came to do. Let's get this thing started, all right? We don't got much time to do the Lord's work. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the Thunderdome. Let's go. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
Did you miss me? Let's go.
Deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Happy Friday.
I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage. You see it? Money, thank you.
I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living room screaming how we did it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you bitch your famous. Hey, somebody has to do this. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. Let's go. Thank you, everyone. So lovely to see you.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They don't get me pops if they test me.
Hey. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this together. It's our favorite part of the show. This is our favorite part.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into
That's a lie.
Yes.
Please keep it clean.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like,
You've gone. Zeus has gone way off the rails. Give me a break.
It's like deja vu.
They never have anything nice to say.
It's like deja vu.
It hurts. Just kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we're gathered this lovely Friday morning. Friday the 20th. Wow. You know, we got a lot of things coming out. I'm hoping we get some good news today, especially from the Supreme Court when it comes to the terrorists. But We'll see what happens. For those of you, this might be your first time coming to a show like this. Zeus News, right? This is Zeus News, where we actually get to the bottom of what's going on in the news in a way no one else can do it. All right. Sometimes we have good conversations with folks, but what we do is we get the news out there, we get the information out there so that folks can go on about their day a lot more informed than they were if they hadn't listened to us. All right. And so it's a collective effort. I do a lot of the heavy lifting, so to speak, but then a lot of you do a lot of the heavy lifting. All right. Actually, W's to everyone in the chat this morning. Seriously, because you could be anywhere else. And I think I heard somebody say, well, who are you? Oh, that's a great question. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H, ladies and gentlemen. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is what? Because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. Hands down. You might as well pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of whatever religion you subscribe to. My hands on the book testifying from high. Seriously. The second H, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not. I'm not a hateful person. I'm not a hateful person. Don't ever put that in my comment section. I'm serious, and I could be a little on the hilarious side, but no. I'm not hateful. Keep the projection to yourselves, all right? So the second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am humble. We're all humans, and that means humans are flawed creatures, or flawed human beings. And with that, you have to always leave a window of opportunity for yourself to at least apologize, right? So that's why I'm the most humble person. Someone one day told me, they said, Zeus, you know what your problem is? I said, what is that? Because I'm actually thinking I'm doing a really great job. And they said, you need to practice a little humility. And this is back when I was the love guru. And I said, wow, it really rocked me to the core. I said, wow. And then it came to me and I said, you know what? That is an excellent thing. And so I've been working on being a humble person. And actually, I've done so much of the work that I am the most humble person, seriously. And then we get to the last H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably the most important H of them all. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are on, especially in this show. If you get in here and you go after this particular H, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. I promise you it will. And they say, well, what is that H? Well, it's easy. It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It really does mean a lot. And I know there's a lot of folks out there listening and they go, it should be illegal for him to say that. No, we have to let it be as it is, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I must caution you, all right? Because same thing make you laugh, it'll make you cry. And I'm an example of that. So if I know a good chunk of my audience, oh my goodness, I laughed and felt so good. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. I know a good chunk of my audience, ladies and gentlemen, they are Trump voters. And for some strange reason, I don't know what it is, a lot of Trump voters, they love to hate me. So it's like a love-hate relationship, I'm realizing. They come to this show because I'm the nicest of all of the Democrats, all right? Because they think we're all radicals and crazy. I'm the nicest, and they always think they're getting over on me. They're never getting over. What they're doing is they're falling right into my trap, which is I said it every morning, boom, boom, boom. And now they're starting to wake up and realize it's not a safe space in the kingdom. Even though Zeus is nice, even though Zeus is Triple H, even though he's the Rizzler, I'm a little terrified to get in the box and start admitting and actually trying to express and explain my belief system, because the moment I open my mouth, I'm cooked. They're realizing it. And it wouldn't be possible without all of you in the chat. Honestly. Earl, we send the hate back to you. Wait a minute, Earl, are you talking to me, Earl? Because I hope that's not for me. If it is, Earl, please knock it off, all right? And so that actually is a good place to stop that, and let's just go straight to the PSA announcement. If you are a Trump supporter out here, now they're saying, don't call us Trump supporters, don't call us MAGA. If you're one of these people that hates Democrats, how about that? One of these people that thinks Donald Trump is still doing a great job, right? And you get triggered whenever people talk about him, or they talk about you, right? Because we already know on this show, MAGA is what? Misogynist and racist. You go a little further to the right, you get into sedition. Remember what you did on January 6th? All right, we'll never forget January 6th. And you keep going further to the right, and then you become guardians of P3DOs. So we know what MAGA represents, and all of you out there who support Donald Trump. You all represent the same thing. And so listen up. If you don't want us to hurt your feelings this morning, leave my show right now. Yeah, you can leave Zeus News and go hang out with all the other fake TikTok hosts out there. That's all they are. They're a bunch of fake hosts. All right. And they'll lie to you and they'll take your money and they'll say, now come on back tomorrow. There's more where that came from. We don't do that over here. No, absolutely not. We're going to make sure that by the end of this show, your goose is cooked. And so, again, if you don't want to be here, like I said, leave right now. Don't report me because it's going to get very uncomfortable. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. I take absolutely no responsibility for people's feelings that get hurt in here. We're all adults, all right? And I just say, you know what? Grab your shields, all right? So what I'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, is we have some Lake of Fire stuff to address, all right? Former American Idol contestant, worship pastor, arrested for unaliving his wife. And, you know, they always say, well, you don't know if this is a Trump supporter. Listen up. If you're upholding MAGA values, then you're a Trump supporter, all right? And I don't even need to hear it, all right? So what we'll do is we'll get this on the record, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll go straight to judgment. So please, bear with me for a quick second.
I love my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. Just, oof, I love her.
That's former American Idol contestant Caleb Flynn, and he's just been arrested for murdering that wife. Ashley Flynn was a popular volleyball coach and substitute teacher in Tip City, Ohio. Now, police got a call on Monday morning, early in the morning, around 2:30 in the morning, of a break-in at the Flynn's home. When police arrived, the husband, Caleb, said someone broke in and murdered his wife and then fled.
Someone broke into the RP's house, unknown if they're still there. Garage door is open. RP and juvenile daughter are locked in a bedroom.
Police immediately launched a massive search to try and find the suspect, but there was no traces of the man. He simply disappeared.
How's it going, church? Pastor Caleb here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Wanted to take a moment just to remind you that this weekend is the finale of our At the Movies series.
Caleb Flynn is a former worship pastor and a former campus pastor for a fairly large church in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And now his children have no mother, and their father is charged with murder.
I love my wife more than anything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, we have what I call these liars, these hypocrites, fake Christians. This is why I get on these so-called Christians as much as I do, because you can't be making all this money and worshiping the true God in the Bible, Jesus Christ. What you're doing is you're allowing the MAGA demon to manipulate you and to use you as a vessel of transgression, and you're leading a bunch of lost sheep in the way straight to the path of destruction. That's why I tell every single person out there that claims to be a Christian, you can't be a Christian and worship Donald Trump. You cannot be a Christian and be MAGA. Now, MAGA, they try to spin this. You can't be a Christian and a Democrat. Nope. Don't believe them. Actually, I'll say it. 1,000% of the time, when you get these churches involved, typical suspect, white guy, what is he doing? Doing just the unimaginable. It's always MAGA. And so what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Black History Month, so you know that means I can't be wrong, right? Just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. And this is for this MAGA demon who did the unimaginable to his wife. Oh, he was an American Idol contestant. He ran a great church. But unfortunately, he was still possessed with the MAGA demon. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this demon straight to hell.
Facing 2 counts of more.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. And that's a huge W, Zeus. Next, we're going to go to Butler, Ohio, where Mayor Wayne Dingus was charged with voyeurism after he was caught sniffing underage girls' underwear. And you guessed it. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and get it's typical suspect. It's your typical suspect, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make these things up. So let's go ahead and get this going. All right.
Dingus is facing 2 counts of voyeurism after he was allegedly caught on camera sniffing a teen girl's underwear. I went to Butler and spoke with the chief of police, Eric Winbickler, who wouldn't say much.
It's basically that the village council is aware of the incident and the charges, and they're going to be discussing it here, undetermined date, but sooner than later.
He referred me to the Richland County Sheriff's Office.
We'll be more than happy to give you all the information that we have for the public records request, but at this point, we think the report speaks for itself.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be glad to receive that. The report states that the victim placed a hidden camera in her bedroom after suspecting Dingus had been in there before when she wasn't home. She said video showed that he picked up 2 pairs of her underwear and smelled them for several seconds. Dingus was in court this morning. He was released on the 10th.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? MAGA, this is you. I don't want to ever hear about an immigrant and the border being secure, MAGA, until you start really taking out the trash in your own party. Just sick. Just sick. Oh, but we're the party of Christian family values. Well, show me in the Bible where Jesus told you to break and enter and go in there and do these unimaginable things to women and children. I promise you, you probably can't even read. And so, again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to belabor the issue. Listen, good and bad comes in all races. But the reason I have to highlight what MAGA men are doing at the level I'm doing it is because every single time I talk to them, they try to scare us into believing the most dangerous people are in the southern border. And I'm going, well, explain the history of the United States. Explain how the Americas were stolen, the land was stolen. Who did that? All right. Explain slavery. Who did that? Why you want me to get worked up about what's happening at the southern border? Unfortunately, it's not going to work with me. And what I'm going to do is this: every single time I catch them in the wild acting like they normally do, this is normal behavior for them. This is like riding a bike for them, right? When I see you out here doing evil, I'm going to hold you accountable. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again. What was his name? Wayne Dingus. Your parents clearly don't love you, giving you a name like that. Wayne Dingus. Yeah, your parents don't love you. And no one in life may have loved you, but and now this is what you have to do. Go around and just commit crimes. I don't even know how you're a mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this demon straight to hell. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Silence. Yeah. You MAGA.
W Zeus. I know there's some people out there getting triggered by the way that I'm running my show this morning. Like I said, you didn't get my PSA announcement, but I'll play it again.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
There you go. All right. I don't have to sugarcoat the truth with them anymore. They know what's going on. MAGA knows what's going on. They know Donald Trump's poll numbers aren't that great. They know that they've been lied to. They know that they've been duped. And they know they can't blame me. They can't blame you. They can't blame the Democrats. They have to blame themselves. Listen up, MAGA. You were deceived by the great deceptor, the devil. The devil used Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said everything your itching ears wanted to hear. That was the first sign that you should have realized you were being conned. Because listen, especially if you've bought in cars before, you've bought in property, and you understand how the game goes. You know what they say, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. The man promised you so many things, and you couldn't understand that he was only doing that because he was really, for the first time in his life, going to be held accountable for the dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and crimes he had committed. And you bailed him out. You bailed him out because he tapped into that hatred that I know each and every single one of you got inside of your hearts. He tapped into it. And now look at America. Look at us. We're on the verge of possibly getting into an armed conflict with Iran. He's unaliving people in the Eastern and in the Caribbean Sea, with no due process. He's running around here unaliving Americans. He's all in the Epstein files. The economy's gone down the drain. His poll numbers down the drain. And you are all the reason we're in this situation as a country. And the quicker you get out of this situation with Donald Trump, the quicker we can start beginning, honestly, to repair the damage that he's done. People say, why are you on Donald Trump so much, Zeus? Because he's in the E-files. And I said, well, listen, he is the most dangerous person on the planet right now. We'll deal with everyone else after. But Donald Trump is going to do as much damage as he can, to distract us from him being implicated in those files. And you are too blind to see it. Now, listen up. It's not just me saying this. I actually like to find videos where Trump supporters are actually saying this. And so we have Owen Schroyer, all right? And you can just tell, he's MAGA. The demon is still in him. But he has enough awareness to understand that Donald Trump has lied to him. Imagine being at this point. So MAGA, if you think what I've said is harsh, listen to your own. We're going to listen to Owen Schroyer, ladies and gentlemen, destroy Donald Trump right for us all to see. All right.
I'm so sick of this response. Oh, you need to support the administration no matter what, or Democrats are going to win the midterms. Well, I'm flattered that you think I have more influence than President Trump. But no, let's get a few things straight. If you want to win the midterms, here's what you have to do. You have to go all the way with Doge budget cuts, $1 trillion annually, and you have to arrest everybody responsible for the fraud and abuse. You need to stop all foreign aid and all foreign wars. All of it. You need to perp walk every single Epstein co-conspirator in chains to prison. Okay? These are the things you need to do. I don't know, maybe 10 million deportations. Maybe cut taxes. I don't mean tax reform. I mean cut. Gone. Get rid of them. These are the things that are going to win the midterms. Not blindly supporting Trump or the administration no matter what. Actually, that's what's going to lose the midterms. So it's ironic that you're going to blame every commentator, show host, you're going to blame them all for not blindly supporting Trump and the administration no matter what, when it's your own fault for not aiming that frustration and anger at the Trump administration and at the GOP for not delivering results that are going to end up in midterm victories for the Republicans. So no, if we lose the midterms, it's because of the administration and it's because of the GOP. And what's even funnier is that I and others were warning about this a year ago. We started warning about this 1 year ago, and we were called panicans. And we were told we don't want or need your vote. And now here we are. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Isn't that funny? So when I hear these people coming up on my show, and they know who they are, the repeat offenders, and they're trying to defend the indefensible, I literally ask myself sometimes, I go, are they just doing this to get attention? Or are they this, as Donald Trump says?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Again, every Trump supporter that defends Donald Trump today, they are doing that despite the fact that Donald Trump has said this about them.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
And a lot of us say it's both. And so, Owen, listen up. I just gave a speech about you were deceived. If it sounds too good to be true, it most likely is. Donald Trump said he would lower your grocery prices. He said he would do America first. And he's actually tricked people. I was in a conversation yesterday with a Trump supporter. How is bailing out Argentina America first? Well, you see, you got to take care of them, because then at the end of the day, if they get up and going, then we're going to be getting taken care of. Okay, well, we don't have health insurance. Okay, but you got to understand, Zeus, they got to get theirs before we get ours. That's America first. Oh, okay. Well, what about Iran? Well, see, you got to understand this, Zeus. We got to go and spend millions and billions of dollars, maybe even trillions, and invest it in Iran, all right? And maybe sacrifice some of our men and women in uniform in the process so that we here in the United States can eventually have a chance of maybe getting our utility bills cut in half. And I said, see, this is the problem with MAGA logic. You don't know anything, and it's easy to say anything to you without you having the ability to think critically about it and realize Donald Trump is making you all look like the biggest clowns ever. And that's why I say Donald Trump should get a Guinness Book of World Record award, because he's running the largest circus, and every single one of you Trump voters aren't nothing but circus animals in it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again. I do this with great pleasure. Join me in sending Owen Schroyer. Wait, listen, I'm going to hold off on Owen. All right. At least he is saying things that I need him to say. So I'm not going to do that. But for the ones that continue to come up on this show and defend Donald Trump, knowing that your goose is cooked, shame on you. Go straight to you know where. I can do that.
Silence.
I can do that.
You MAGA.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. All right, moving on to some more important news, ladies and gentlemen. And so I hope DJ is here, and anyone like DJ, because we have, honestly, I got some nasty news. We have some nasty news, ladies and gentlemen. And I saw this and I said, okay, please explain it then. Please explain it to us, MAGA. All right. It seems that Joe Biden is still polling better than Donald Trump. And it comes from a YouGov poll. I don't know if we can see this. I don't know if you can see this, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the YouGov poll that, hey, God, all right. This is a sample out of 1,700 adults, because those people out there like to say, well, Zeus, they only did this much. Well, you don't know how statistics work. But there's 11 questions. And I mean, and I just looked at this and I said, this is the sickest and saddest thing I have ever seen. The first question, would you say things in this country today are generally headed in the right direction, off to a wrong track? Not sure. 61% say off on the wrong track. And I could literally pick a random question and then you'll get the same outcome. Let's go ahead and jump to number 4. In general, do you think Donald Trump has spent his second term, 1, focused on America's most important issues, focused on issues that aren't very important, or not sure? 55% said he's focusing on issues that aren't important. So where's this America First narrative coming from? Let's go. Let's see. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling each of the following issues? The economy. 57 disapprove. 57%, that means majority disapprove of how he's handling the economy. 55% disapprove of how he's handling immigration. I mean, you could literally pick any one of these questions, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Donald Trump is doing a better or worse job than President Joe Biden? The majority people, 49%, is saying he's doing worse. You go to the next question. 55% of the people are saying he's doing worse than Barack Hussein Obama. You go to the next question. So far, in his second term, has Donald Trump been a better or worse president than you expected? 51%, a whopping 50. And these are friendly numbers. These are numbers, because you know they always skew the numbers because they don't want to make him so mad. But these are friendly numbers, ladies and gentlemen. And so I say all of that to say this. When you get in my box, they don't even want to come on my box because I've already obliterated MAGA this morning. They can't handle this, right? It's amazing to me how you can literally see the data yourself and engineer. You've never been to school. You've never been to school. You've never actually studied what it takes to be a qualified engineer. But MAGA does an outstanding job of engineering narratives to try to make it look like the facts we are seeing in reality. they'll say, oh, no, you can't believe that, Zeus. It's only 1,700 people sampled. Well, newsflash, you need to learn something. You need to learn how statistics work. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire again. I have no problem sending you ignorant voters. This is why I say the most dangerous thing in this country is an uninformed Trump voter. They literally walk into the voting booth and they nuke themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. They don't like me. I wouldn't like me if I were you either.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Now let me get to my notes. I got a couple of more things that I need to cover before we open up the boxes and have some conversations, all right? So we all saw the Les Wexner deposition, right? And I got some strong words about that, all right? But there's a couple of things that we definitely need to get out in the open, and it has to do with his remarks about the sitting president of the United States of America, all right? So what we'll do is we'll listen to what he describes as his relationship with MAGA's dear leader, Donald J. Trump. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to go through this together, all right? Here we go.
He bought a house in Palm Beach, and he wanted me to see it. I think he wanted me and Abigail to see it. And we flew down on like a Sunday morning with friends of ours from Columbus. Looked at that.
I do see the breaking news. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Supreme Court rules that Trump's sweeping emergency tariffs are illegal. Hold on. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Wow. So another example of Donald Trump being a criminal. Oh my goodness. Look at this, MAGA. Look at this. Your dear leader. Oh my gosh. Let me see. What do we got, ladies and gentlemen? What do we have? Oh my goodness. See, this is exactly what I am talking about. We have a corrupt, evil, wicked president. Wow. Who would have thunk? Who would have thought they would have said this? Let's get this out there, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Breaking news. And by the way, all of you, we all deserve our tariff check, don't we? Don't we all deserve it? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me see if we can get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what more do you need to say? What more needs to be said, ladies and gentlemen, than let's see. Let's see if we can get something going on right now. Okay, so what are they saying? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me, all right? Yeah, I'm trying to get more news about the hold on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yahoo Finance. They seem to have got something. Okay. Okay, Supreme Court ruling. Live update. Let's see.
Ready to pounce. Some traders hide from it. Some ride it. If that's
Hold on,
you,
this is a commercial.
join us
We'll see.
On Tasty Trade.
Yeah.
Genius loves company.
On the trade front, the EU and India have reached a free trade deal after.
Okay, so it says U.S. Supreme Court is getting ready to hand down the decision. Yeah, we don't have anything. All right, but listen up. As more comes out, we'll continue it, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to put that out there, MAGA. Where's my tariff rebate? All right, we all knew it was illegal, and now we're getting it in writing, and it's coming from the highest court in the land. All right, so wow, just wow. Oh my goodness, you literally cannot make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder what Fox News is saying. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hold on.
Sproutsmith number 3. It's just another grocery store.
With fresh organic produce everywhere, it's a bit like a wellness retreat.
If you win, tell me how the reimbursement process would work. Would it be a complete mess? I mean, you're saying before the government promised reimbursement, and now you're saying, well, that's rich, but how would this work? It seems to me like it could be a mess.
So it says the Supreme Court on Friday blocked Donald Trump's use of an emergency law to unilaterally impose sweeping tariffs on most U.S. trading partners, delivering a blow to the president in a case centered on one of his signature economic policies, and he's characterized as life or death for the U.S. economy. In a 6-3 decision, the justices invalidated Donald Trump's tariffs. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments in November in the case which centered on Trump's use of the IEEPA to enact his Liberation Day tariffs on most countries, including 10% global tariffs and a set of higher so-called reciprocal tariffs on certain nations. In April, he declared a trade deficit, a national emergency, blah, 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 blah. The court agreed to take up the case. Lower courts pressed the Justice Department to explain why Trump invoked IEEPA when other more narrowly tailored statutes enacted by Congress more specifically addressed the tariffs. Okay, all right. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It looks like Donald Trump has once again been caught. This is worthy of impeachment. How many of you think Donald Trump should be impeached for this? How many? I'm gonna be honest with you. How many of you think Donald Trump should be impeached for this? This is just the latest example of him being an unlawful president. He's literally stolen money. He has stolen money from the American people illegally. Wow. I'm so angry because you know what they said? That's an additional 2,000 to 3,000, and you know they're undervaluing it because they devalue the currency too. It had to have been at least $5,000 to $10,000 that the American people were just robbed. Oh, wait a minute, Christina. What do you mean you can't believe it? Are you on our side today, Christina? Because I don't know. I'm really upset and I'm really angry. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Donald Trump needs to be impeached, convicted, and removed. Whatever the order is. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. I'm so angry. I'm getting the order mixed up. This is for Donald Trump lying and stealing and robbing the American people. And the Supreme Court, I'm surprised they sided with us. They must be getting tired of getting robbed. That's probably what it is. They're even getting robbed. Join me in sending Donald Trump, the thief in chief, straight to hell. He's the thief. He's the thief. Wow.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Wow. Yeah. Where's DJ at? Where's DJ? Has anyone seen DJ? It's amazing. DJ, front and center, DJ. No, don't hide. Do not hide, DJ. I need you to come on up here, DJ, and explain to us now what you think now when the highest court of the land says you were wrong. And you know what he's going to say? Zeus, I've always said I didn't like the tariffs. You know how they like to try to spin it. You didn't say that. You sat here and you paid those tariffs as if it was your civic duty. It's really the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. And we were just talking about his poll numbers. Well, what do you think that's going to do to Donald Trump's poll numbers, ladies and gentlemen, as folks head to the voting booth during the midterms? You got to go into the voting booth now, and you have to come to grips with the reality that Donald Trump has been robbing you for the past year or so. Donald Trump has been robbing the American people, ladies and gentlemen, for the past year or so. And this is on top of his Epstein files cover up. And now he's about to try to get us into an armed conflict with Iran in his latest stunt to distract us. Seriously, MAGA, at what point do you stand up for yourselves and start acting like you actually value your own freedom and your own liberties and your own life? When do you start standing up for yourself? If it was not for the Democrats, MAGA, you would have already been cooked. We're the one and the real independents and the real Republicans. I got to say it like that. If it wasn't for us, he would have been steamrolled you all. He would have already seized your assets, whatever you had. He would have stolen your children and did the unimaginable. You ought to be thanking us. Seriously, that's a huge W, Zeus. And that was in the middle of me getting in the middle of this Epstein situation. So let's go back to the Epstein thing, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. I'm so sorry to get off topic. All right. But see, this is just, woo, no wonder he was out and about so much yesterday. All right. So let's listen to Les Wexner try to cover up his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. W's in the chat for Rick.
Congratulations. Got back on the plane, came home. So, and it was pretty modest house. Nothing special.
So one trip, in that trip, did you ever witness Donald Trump at the house?
No.
Do you recall any other prominent figures at the Palm Beach house?
No, it was just Jeffrey and my friends.
Who were the other friends?
Juvie and Steve Tuckerman, Dr. Stephen Tuckerman and his wife Judith.
I'm sure they'll be delighted about that.
No, they won't be. They're in heaven.
Did you ever visit his island in the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Can you tell us about those visits?
Yes. Jeffrey invited us to see it. And we were on a boat and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself, and I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4, but at least 2. Walked around for a while and left. Probably an hour visit.
Okay, an hour. So on that trip, do you recall seeing any prominent figures on the island?
No, and it was a pretty crummy island.
Okay. Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico or his house in Paris?
Do you want to break those up for clarity?
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico?
It was the same kind of thing. He wanted Abigail and I to see his ranch. We flew down there and drove around for an hour or two, got back on the plane and came home. And I don't think he had a house.
So you would fly just to go visit for 1 hour?
Yeah, I would fly to Europe for 1 hour on business trips. As crazy it is,
now we're going to jump ahead to where Jasmine Crockett gets in, I believe, and ask him about his relationship with Donald Trump.
Closeness that every
You don't want to get ahead of it.
I want to enter as Exhibit 5 the.
And then finally, would you consider Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein friends or friendly? Would you classify them that way in the information that you have?
I think it's really 2 questions. Would I think they were friends? No. Jeffrey Epstein held him out as a friend.
Great, thank you. We can go off the record.
We'll go back on the record.
What's that?
That is a microphone. Mr. Wexner, it is 1:17 in the afternoon. Our minority colleagues touched on a lot of different subject areas, and I just want to go back through and parse out some things. First, though, I want to enter as Exhibit 5 the letter from Les.
Watch him cook himself. Watch him cook himself. He know he wrote Epstein that letter. No way out. No way out of this.
Give one more.
Oh, where you find this at? Oh.
This document is titled Letter from Les, General News directed to the Wexner Foundation community. I will stipulate to you there's no date on here. The date it was posted on the website was August 8th, 2019. Do you guys have any reason to dispute that? In this letter that you wrote in August of 2019, you mentioned that you had that Mr. Epstein had various well-known, respected individuals as financial clients and in his inner circle. My question to you is, could you elaborate a little bit to who some of those financial clients were that you were aware of?
Well, it says Epstein represented that he had that.
he wouldn't know if he did or not.
Were you aware of any of Mr. Epstein's other clients?
Oh, say yeah. No, let you think. Okay. Just cooked. Get your thoughts together. Wow. Guilty.
Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier.
Name dropping.
So he represented their whole families. There had been a whole bunch of people. I mean, most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. I never met people, but there were people that called me that either insinuated or said they knew Jeffrey through a financial relationship. And
just guilty.
So, I mean, they could have been actors, but at the time, a guy calls me up. I'll give you an example.
Oh, here we go.
It's just no, because I want you to understand this, because it's so confusing to me. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. I'm providing financial advice for the chief technologist at Google. And I, wow, I'm in good company, because these are really smart guys with a lot of money. And you have to put yourself in the mindset of if my attorney said, he was qualified to argue in front of the Supreme Court, I'd believe him. I didn't say to call the Supreme Court and say, tell me.
Why you look so uncomfortable?
Is he really an attorney, or did he do this? And I get a phone call from someone like a guy named Meyerwald. Who said he was the chief technology of Google. Jeffrey has been helping me. He's a financial advisor. I told Jeffrey I was building a boat. He told me to call you. I had never built a boat, but because I hadn't. But if I wanted to build a boat, I would go to FedShip, because reputationally.
The main question was, is this your letter? But now we're building boats. This is guilt. This is 100% ironclad guilt.
They're the best boat builders.
Boat builders.
Then, it was, and that's the part that is so embarrassing, is what a commie was. And if I don't know, you believe your priest or your minister, your rabbi is what they are, you believe them. And people it was mostly phone calls of people would say, or if you'd bump into somebody, Jeffrey's my advisor, or Jeffrey's talked to me about stuff, or Jeffrey's helped me with financial things. I can't remember specifically, but as I look back at it, it was part of the con. So I never met Meyerwald.
What's so funny?
1 second, because I think it will move this thing along a little faster.
Uh-oh.
Stop telling stories, okay?
He says, stop telling stories, okay?
Just answer the question.
Mr. Wexner, you mentioned some of these phone calls from other individuals, boasting about their ties with Mr. Epstein. Do you have a recollection of when most of these would have occurred, these phone calls?
Pretty regularly. But I can't remember any of them.
Understood.
Yeah.
In majority exhibit.
So, listen up. You've heard enough, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard enough. And let's go ahead and put a pin in this, because we in the best interest of time, we all see a guilty man. How many of you believe that he's guilty? Any of you out there believe Les Wexner is guilty and that he's sitting up here covering up for his crimes against humanity? War criminal. He's a war criminal, in my opinion. All right. Yeah. Thank you. This brings me, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, to the next part of what I need to say as it relates to this whole deposition thing. And I said to you, it's not just Wexner that I'm gonna get on about this. Actually, you know what I need to do? We need to actually get this part on the record first, because this is the part right here that screams guilty, ladies and gentlemen. This is when his lawyer whispered to him that he would unalive him. Right? Remember that? We got to get this on the record. This is probably one of the most important points of the video.
Giving you a long answer, but to understand in context. Because if I just say yes or no, you won't understand it. And I really want this whole group to understand it. And I never would have guessed I was being conned. Never, ever. The deceit was so subtle. Yes, I know.
Answer the question.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure we all appreciate the stories. We're just trying to answer the questions they actually wanted the answers to.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
I hope it is.
And could I ask you, I think you said in the last hour, it was your understanding that Mr. Epstein, while he was working for you, also had other clients. Is that right?
Yes.
So would that mean that his work for you, you understood it to be part-time?
I wouldn't describe it that way. You know, I knew it wasn't full-time. I thought it wasn't full-time because he had other clients of substance, real substance.
As a listener, it sounds like substantial demands that you're describing. You were, and of course are, one of the wealthiest people in the country, managing all of your personal affairs. I would think would typically demand all of somebody's bandwidth. It sounds like that was an issue with the guy before Epstein. How was he able to do that job, but also do work for other clients at the same time?
Well, like Peg does the work now. I think you could supervise the work, overview it, which isn't the work that I do, and say you could do really thorough work if you were doing it 3 or 4 days a month, certainly a week or a day a month, just focusing on these things because there were accountants and tax lawyers and other people. And then in setting up, as an example, I didn't have the idea to inventory furniture or valuables. And it's like, how could you have all
Look at them hands.
silverware
Look at
in your
them
house?
hands. Guilty.
I didn't count forks and spoons.
Guilty hands.
Jeff said people could be walking out with forks and spoons. I said, gee, that's a good idea. We ought to have an inventory. But then there was I hired a lady to be like the house manager who had run the U.S. Embassy in Rome. And she said, yeah, I know how to do this. And I said, well, why don't we keep inventories of stuff? And she said, well, yeah, I could do that. So she did that. That's kind of a puny example, but I wouldn't have had the idea.
Look at the lawyer right there.
All the things were inventory.
Look at the lawyer.
That wasn't work for me or Jeffrey. It was just regularly done.
You heard what he said. He will unalive him if he answers another question with more than 5 words.
It was just regularly done.
Watch that.
Answer the question.
See that, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I saw the chat. They said, play the part where Jasmine Crockett. You want me to see if I can get the Jasmine Crockett part? All right, I'll do that. But, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is the man innocent or is the man guilty? It's amazing, MAGA, how you ignore. It's amazing how you ignore what's slapping you in your face. It really is. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, okay, there you go. There we go. Here we go. I think we found it. I think I found it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I would answer this question accurately. I would go to some of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows.
Here we go. You want to hear the part with Jasmine Crockett? There we go.
And I think that's what I'm referring to. I mean, I don't think I.
Is your relationship with Dr. Lehman? Was paid to render medical services to any of the alleged victims of Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
What is your relationship with Dr. Lehman?
Abigail had a complicated pregnancy, and their general obstetrician, I believe, referred her to Mark Landon. He is an obstetrician. And that's how I met him. And he delivered our children.
Okay.
And so my relationship with him is my wife's doctor.
Did you ever introduce him to Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Okay.
All right. Did you ever spend time with Epstein and Donald Trump?
Uh-oh. But where you
together?
Yes.
Together? What kind of question is that? Guilty.
I want to answer this question accurately. I would go to some of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows because it's very important to the brand. At some of the fashion shows, Jeffrey was there and some Trump was there. And I remember because Trump would always introduce himself to me. And I always thought it was kind of odd that he was at the fashion show because he had nothing to do with fashion. So the coincidence of them being together at an event, it could have been that, but I have no specific recollection. I never had a social or like a drink or a cup of coffee, something.
Look at them hands. Look at them hands. Guilty.
That would put them together.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I want to make sure we're clear on the
Get him,
record,
Jasmine.
You're saying that you can recall instances potentially where Epstein and Trump were together and you were in their presence, or just a random scenario where Epstein may be there, Trump may be there separately, and then you would go?
It would be at random. That would be accurate. If it happened, but I have no specific recollection.
Okay. Did you ever see or become aware of President Trump having a sexual relationship with a person who was introduced to him by Epstein or Maxwell?
No.
Has Donald Trump ever discussed Jeffrey Epstein with you?
No.
Did Jeffrey Epstein ever discuss Donald Trump with you?
Look up. Look up. Start. Yeah. Oh. Start moving them hands.
Describe it. He would name drop it. So he would say things like, I know
There you go.
President Clinton, or I know the Pope, or I know God, or,
Thank you.
or I know you.
Guilty.
There was that kind of name dropping, but never, I can't remember a specific place, but Jeffrey dropped a lot of names.
Okay. So to clarify,
Get him,
you
Jasmine.
believe he's specifically dropped Donald Trump's name?
No, I'm saying it could have, and I don't remember.
Oh, heard that one before.
Did Epstein ever share any information with you about Donald Trump's sexual activities?
No.
Do you have a relationship with Donald Trump?
No.
But you've met him before.
He introduced himself to me at the fashion show a couple of times. But I wouldn't say, hello, how are you? And, like you say, met, like in, we knew each other. We don't know each other. He wouldn't. I'd be shocked if he remembered me.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And I know that you specifically mentioned the island, that you have been to Jeffrey's Island. Do you recall seeing any of those persons that Jeffrey Epstein would name drop while you were on his island?
No, nobody was there but Abigail, myself, Jeffrey, maybe somebody cutting grass or something.
Oh, somebody
There was a
cutting grass.
maintenance person, I think.
Maintenance
I
person.
don't specifically
Wow.
recall.
You don't.
I know for sure I was there. Abigail was there. Jeffrey was there.
And there wasn't anything abnormal about the appearance of the home and
All right, there you go. So we're going to stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. But we know a liar when we see one. All right. Now, I got to get this message out because I do have some words for Les Wexner as well as the members of Congress. So, what we just watched, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, it was a dark chapter in our nation's history. Honestly, one that continues to unravel before our eyes, revealing layers of deception, privilege, and unchecked power. And today we have to condemn this once again. The deposition of Les Wexner, the billionaire retail magnate whose ties to Jeffrey Epstein have long raised profound questions about accountability and truth, need to be revisited. This testimony given under subpoena of the House Oversight Committee is riddled with inconsistencies that undermine its credibilities and insult the intelligence of the American people. It is a stark reminder that even in the face of overwhelming evidence, those with wealth and influence will twist narratives to evade responsibility. Let's start with the heart of the matter. Wexner, he portrayed his relationship with Epstein in the deposition in a strange way. He repeatedly described Epstein as a little more than a financial advisor, a, quote, con man, end quote, who duped him out of tens of millions of dollars, leading to a clean break in 2007. He claimed no close personal friendship or awareness of Epstein's criminal activities, and certainly no involvement in them. Yet, the facts paint a far different picture. Epstein wasn't just an advisor. Wexner granted him power of attorney over his vast fortune, allowing Epstein to manage billions in assets and purchase properties and even sign checks on his behalf. This level of trust extended to Epstein living in Wexner's New York townhouse for years, a property valued at over $70 million, which Epstein allegedly used as a hub for his illicit operations. How can Wexner claim mere blind, being victim of Epstein when documents from the Justice Department's Epstein files identify him as a, quote, co-conspirator, end quote, in FBI investigations? Even though he went uncharged, survivors like Virginia Giuffre have accused him of direct involvement in Epstein's trafficking scheme. Wexner denies even meeting Giuffre, but his blanket dismissal rings hollow against the backdrop of Epstein's own admission and financial empire that Wexner helped to build, which fueled Epstein's predatory lifestyle. The inconsistencies deepen when we examine Wexner's comments on Donald Trump, another figure who was entangled in Epstein's web. Wexner testified that he had no recollection of any meaningful interactions between Epstein and Trump, suggesting that their paths crossed only coincidentally at a Victoria's Secret fashion show, even where both men were present, but allegedly not as friends. He went so far as to say he didn't believe that they were close, despite Epstein frequently name-dropping Trump as a confidant. This strains the credibility. Public records and Epstein's infamous Black Book show Trump and Epstein socializing extensively in the 90s and early 2000s, which Trump himself once praised Epstein's taste in beautiful women on the, quote, younger side. Wexner's own events provide a venue for such mingling. Yet he downplays any connection. Even as Epstein's files revealed communications that ties these networks together. If Wexner was truly, quote, conned and oblivious, why does his testimony evade these overlaps? That's a good question. These are not minor discrepancies. These are deliberate obfuscations that protect the powerful at the expense of justice for the victims. But my condemnation extends beyond Wexner. It goes to the lawmakers who are tasked with uncovering the truth. It's appalling how disconnected many members of Congress appear to be from the cultural and investigative realities surrounding the Epstein release. Republicans on the Oversight Committee skipped the deposition entirely, advocating their duty in a partisan display that prioritizes politics over oversight. Democrats, while pressing Wexner, often seemed out of touch with the digital undercurrents that have amplified public scrutiny. The viral discussions on social media, the forensic analysis of emails by citizen investigators, and the resurgence of theories born from years of suppressed information. These discoveries from flight logs and encrypted messages have fueled a national reckoning, yet our representatives treat them as footnotes rather than flashpoints. They fail to grasp how the public views these files, not as abstract documents, but as evidence of systemic rot. The detachment erodes the trust in our institutions and allows inconsistencies like Wexner's to go unchallenged in the depths they deserve. To bridge this gap, this is free advice, lawmakers must adapt their approach and use the very language that Epstein and his associates were employed to cloak their actions. Let me repeat that again. Lawmakers must adapt their approach and use the very language that Epstein and his associates employed to cloak their actions. We know from the Epstein files and survivors' testimonies that terms like massage were euphemisms for exploitation, codes to arrange encounters with underage girls under the guise of innocent spa services. Why then do our representatives not press witnesses with these exact terms? For instance, they could ask Mr. Wexner when Epstein referred to massages and you shared communications with him at your properties, what did that entail? Did it involve minors? And were you ever present? Such pointed questions would strip away the veneer of denial. Moreover, we cannot ignore the links to the broader cultural speculation, such as those echoed in the so-called Pizzagate discussions, where terms like pizza or cheese pizza have been flagged by child safety experts as potential codes for child exploitation material, appearing over 900 times in the Epstein documents alongside odd phrases like grape soda and cookies. These may seem fringe, but they warrant scrutiny given their frequency and context in the Epstein emails. Lawmakers should incorporate them directly. Quote, in your dealings with Epstein, did discussions of cheese pizza or hot dogs ever arise? And if so, what did they signify? Provide specific examples. All right, you got to bring the emails in or explain the repeated references to pizza parties in Epstein's correspondence. Were these literal events or something more sinister? By using these terms drawn from the files themselves and public analysis, Congress can demonstrate cultural awareness and force witnesses to confront the coded world that they inhabited rather than hiding behind polished denials. Les Wexner's deposition is not just inconsistent, it's a travesty that perpetuates the cycle of impunity for the elite. To the victims who have waited decades for answers, I say, your voices will not be silenced. And to the lawmakers, please step up and get into the game. Put your mind into this and understand there's a cultural awareness factor that you need to keep in mind. All right? Wield the truth as your weapon and demand accountability, honestly, without reservation. Only then can we really get to the bottom of this. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, now I can do it. Join me in warming up the lake of fire. All right, this is for Les Wexner. We know what you are, and I wish I would have been there because I would have used those terms: grape soda, hot dog, cheese pizzas, massages, and I wouldn't have let you get away with what you did. All right, but I understand they're not Zeus. I get it. But I see a devil when I know a devil when I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this demon straight to hell. Yeah, we had to do that. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I had to do that. All right.
Silence.
I'm so sorry, but I had to do it. Right? How many of you honestly think they need to start using the same terms that we all see in the files. Don't go in there and ask them, well, what happened? Was there pizza at the Victoria's Secret party? You got to ask those kind of questions. You got to use the same language they use, because if you don't, you know what they're going to do. Was there any underage girls? Oh, no, because they didn't call them underage girls. Duh. All right. So, yeah, that's a huge W, Zeus. All right. So sorry. I got to open up the box now, ladies and gentlemen, and let's start having some honest conversations. All right, who do we have? Wow, it's a nobody. It's nobody. Oh, well, we only got one guest. W's in the chat. Good morning, Q-Dog.
Hey, good morning, brother.
Good morning. What a day. What a day. How are you?
Oh, man. Just sitting here watching the lies after lies after lies. It's just real funny how some of these magazines. Now, I just can't believe it. We've been telling you this.
Yeah.
We've been telling you this for over a year. Now, all of a sudden, now you can't believe it.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Christina, I'm curious what you can't believe.
Is she's on our side today, I think, right, Christina? Have I lied today,
Yes,
Christina?
she's on our side today. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But the whole entire time that they've been dipping and dodging and creeping through the weeds or whatnot with this rhetoric that's finally coming out with the Epstein files, with this person. Oh, I don't know. I can't recall. Now you're stuttering.
They're running out of places.
We've been told you this. Remember a long time ago, Zeus, when we were talking about, all this is stemming from racism and misogyny and just theft by deception.
Yeah.
And no, that can't be it. That just can't be it. Now all of a sudden you starting to believe what your eyes have been showing you for the past year, almost year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, actually before then,
Yeah.
going into his first term. Now you believe in it.
Yeah. Does anyone out there disagree with what Q-Dog is saying? Because what we want to do is unpack what's going on.
Well, we know. And I'll give him his little 2 seconds of fame, alter ego. You still can't cam up. You've been here every day. You still can't cam up to explain your piece. So you got to spam the chat.
Lord have mercy. Wow.
At least I can say Tiny Tank Top Tim has the ability to come up here, and he don't say anything, but he has the ability to come up here and say his little piece.
Well, don't feed into these people, all right? Because alter ego, he's a Democrat, from what I understand. They're Democrat, and it's just something personal. And we don't want to actually blend that into what we're doing, all right? Because
it's a whole ish show.
Yeah, it turns into that. It turns into that. Just let the haters be the haters, all right? But we want to make sure we're getting the truth out here about just all of the things Donald Trump is doing to ruin this great country of ours. It's really sad none of them have the courage to get up here and actually answer your questions, Q-Dog. I'm looking in the comments.
It's amazing, bro. It's funny how, like, when now that they're addressing questions to the journalists are addressing questions to Trump, now he's really timid in his voice. Well, I don't know. No, where was all that gung ho, pumping your chest? You must be crazy. Now all this stuff is starting to leak out, and you don't have no corners to turn to.
Bingo.
To basically try to convince the world that no, this isn't me.
Yeah.
We been knew this was you.
Yeah.
We been knew that this was you all along, and all the people that see we said this a long time ago.
Yeah.
That sooner or later it's going to continue to start to crumble. The ground is going to start to crumble beneath their feet.
Yep. And that's why I got a lot of patience. Some of these folks in here, they've been in here a while laughing, kikiing, and ha-haing, right? But you and I both understand you can only fly so high before you end up coming crashing back down to earth. And I'm going to be here to watch it. I want to see, honestly, and I could get into trouble, but I want to see a lot of them suffering. Because I think it'll make them better people at the end of the day. But if they keep skating accountability, they're going to keep being bad people. But no, come on down here and take that behind kicking that's been waiting for you, because you're not winning with Donald Trump, MAGA. You're not winning. And none of us believe it. Did you see me go over those poll numbers, Q Dog? You saw those? You heard me talk about those poll numbers?
Oh my God!
No good news.
That alone deserves impeachment. That alone, all the other rhetoric and the stealing of monies and whatnot, he's doing it right in front of your face,
Stealing
and
our
you
money.
all fall for a hook, line, and sinker. Oh no, he's just trying to maneuver it over here, to take care of the tariffs. What about the tariffs?
Mm-hmm. We ain't got no answers now. DJ, did you hear the news? I see you laughing in the comment section. I've been looking for you, DJ. Why don't you bring your behind up here, DJ? Because today is your day to get this. All right. So, because, he doesn't want to come up here.
Y'all sitting back waiting on that tariff check. No, don't even take the check.
Yeah, he doesn't
return to sender when it comes, if it comes. Return it to sender.
Thank you. Look at him. He wrote he can't.
You thought it was a good thing.
Yeah. WQ, dog. Well, listen, brother, I got to try to bring up other panelists. But
No doubt,
I'm looking for somebody. If Blaga comes in here, you and I, and maybe,
you already know
we're going to have to deal with that.
We're
We're going to have to deal with that because there's some questions out here, Blaga, that I need real answers to.
You know, one good question I want Dame to answer is that one that came up there like she was my mammy.
Grandma.
Oh no! Don't! I don't want you to say nothing about me. Oh, that's a good master. He's a good master. Don't you talk about Trump? Yeah.
We got something for him. But
Harriet warned us about them.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I want to see him suffer too. WQ, dog. All right. We're going to move it along, brother. But all right. Thank you for coming up here. No lies detected. Ladies and gentlemen, dog. Y'all make sure y'all show these panelists some love. All right. So DJ, did I hear you correctly? DJ, you said you're not able to come up here. Did I hear that correct, DJ? You can go ahead and mention it in the comment section. I don't need to talk to you, but DJ, did I see that correctly? Because you come onto my platform and spew out all that stuff you've been spewing out, and I'm just curious, how come Donald Trump's poll numbers aren't lining up with that? And how come the Supreme Court didn't rule in his favor about the tariffs, DJ? DJ, I can tell this is difficult for you. Whenever I'm cooking and booking, they want to send a guest request up to try to throw me off. Oh, we don't want Zeus to keep going. He's paying too much. But it's Friday. It's Friday, DJ, and Donald Trump's taking a major L. I just checked his social media platform, Lie Central. Quiet as a church mouse. That's exactly how he needs to be. He needs to zip his trap. And this is why he needs to be impeached and removed immediately. There's nothing he is doing good to help everyday Americans. Not one thing. But yet you get on social media and defend this guy, and you tell me the Democrats are off message. Snuggle says, well, what do the Democrats have to offer? Well, what we're offering right now is an opportunity to save the country. Because without us, you would really be. You seen what happened with Jim Jones, right? Once you get too deep into the cult, you're going to have to call for help. Who are you going to call, MAGA? You're too deep in it. So who do you think you're going to have to call to get the help? People like me who've been yelling at you every single day for the past 5 years. Stop supporting the man. Stop supporting the man. Stop supporting the man. Stop supporting him. And what did you do? You spat in our faces. You yelled at us. You threw the DOJ at us. All we were trying to do was help you, because we know that we don't want to watch the country go down the drain. We were trying to actually help you. And you're going to sit here and let this man steal from us $2, $3, up to $5,000 with these tariffs. You let the president of the United States steal from us while still sending you fundraising emails, grifting. I got to get more out of DJ. I got to get more out of Snuggles. Selling you cell phones, Don Jr., Eric Trump, crypto schemes. We had to commit the crimes because if we didn't commit the crimes, China would have committed them. So we got to be the first criminals. It's really sick, ladies and gentlemen. And now they got nothing to say to Big Zeus today. Trump supporters are the most un-American. I'm going to get in trouble on TikTok.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
I'm really upset. I'm really upset. Because you know what they'll do? They'll go and find me in another live. And I'm in there talking to one of these MAGA demons because I don't like to go into other people's lives and start getting hot and sweating because it takes a lot. So I'm just real chill. But I'm going to make my points. And as I start talking, Zeus, I need to talk to you. Why? Well, when are you going to stop spewing all that on your platform? So you waited until I went over here like a weak little one, because you're weak when you do that, and try to catch me slipping. You're not going to catch me slipping. You're not going to change anybody that can think for themselves. You're never going to change our mind. We see the poll numbers, MAGA. We see them. You see them. So stop acting like you can't. Oh, it hurts your feelings. Well, maybe it should. Maybe it should hurt your feelings. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I'm a little flustered. Because you see these people. They're trying to act like what we're struggling with in America isn't a reality. What are your thoughts? If that's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I've been watching and listening and reading some of the comments, and I'm just perplexed.
Somebody asked, "Are you in the shower?"
I'm not, and I still am tripping on how that happened.
That's a good. Y'all keep it clean out there. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, because they can't be asking that.
At least we know I shower, unlike some of you. No comment. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'm serious. I don't want to throw any digs. I want to just be honest. Justice delayed is justice denied. Justice delayed is justice denied. What we are witnessing in our country is over 30 years of brutal attacks on young children and young girls in this country where they were ignored and they were denied. I know. No, I didn't take it wrong, Army Combat. Thank you. Nobody was more shocked than I was yesterday.
We're good.
But that's the thing is we have literally watched as these young girls and young teenagers who were brought to this place, who were lied to, told they were going to do a job, make some money, because most of them came from poverty. Most of them came from insecure households. Some of them were involved in foster care systems. They preyed on them. They preyed on these young children and girls who were just trying to find something to earn some type of money or feed themselves or feel safe, right? And now 30 years later, we're watching as these now people are like, oh, well, they're old and feeble. If they go to prison, they're not gonna. No, they lived their lives as multimillionaires and billionaires as they preyed on the lives of young children and women, young girls. I want to make sure I say girls because they weren't women. And then people use the different names like you said, euphemisms to try and cover up the dastardly deeds that they committed, all the while spewing absurdities, right?
Yep.
And we know that in our government, if they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities, right?
Facts.
If I can make you believe that the other person is so different from you, or convince you that less than 1% of the population is what's causing crime, then I can make you harm those people and turn you away from the crimes I'm actually committing. I can make you look away from the fact that I am gutting your family's home. You're gutting your family's budget, gutting your family's ability to get better jobs or to feed yourselves or have health care. If I can make you believe it's the immigrant, I don't have to have you look at the billionaire. And what I want to ask, especially because while you were reading, somebody said, I could read it myself, but you don't. That's the problem. You all don't read. You literally had MAGA in your live yesterday. They were like, I get my news from TikTok, and they were bold about it. That's why you're dumb. That's why you're not learning anything, because you're not going to Associated Press or data and statistics and facts.
Thank you.
You're going to some unknown person on TikTok, social media. It's literally in the name, social media. It's not journalism. It's not fact finding. It's not breaking the news story. News reporters tell the news. It's not an editorial. You're going onto TikTok and you're watching somebody who's literally regurgitating some other person's crap that they didn't bother to read past the headline.
Amen.
Which is why you're all called headline honchos.
Amen.
You don't even know how to break down the hook.
Get him, Jim. Telling the truth.
The hook pulls you in, but you got to read the article. The hook pulls you in to get you to come in and read something. And then your guys are like, nope, the headline told me everything I need to know. I don't need to know that it was Donald Trump that was involved in it.
Amen.
I don't need to know that Jay Epstein was involved in it.
Amen.
I don't need to know that Don Jr. is literally gutting the country for $500 million. I don't need to know that Eric was involved.
That
I
part.
don't need to know that Ivanka and her husband were
That
involved.
part.
I don't need to know any of that. I just need to read that headline that talks about Hunter Biden laptop, and I know everything.
Wow.
See, this is the problem with the United States of America right now,
Yep.
is we literally have allowed ourselves to be dumbed down by instant gratification on the internet and failed to understand the importance of reading the entire document, the fine print, the information, the data and statistics, the fact-finding mission that tells you, oh my God, this person was involved in this dastardly deed, not just what the headline said. And until we as American citizens hold ourselves accountable, we are never going to come out of this. Keep dumbing yourself down until you find that you've given every ounce of your soul to a party that did not care about you or yours.
Amen.
Keep believing the headline and not reading the article. Keep reading just the title of the contract, but not the contract itself. Keep doing that and see how quickly you lose everything you've worked hard for. Because we're at a precipice, people, and I don't care what side of the fence you are on, whether you are a Republican, whether you claim to be an independent, a far leftist, a progressive. I don't care what side of the fence you are on. If you continue down this path of not fact-finding, not listening to the statistics and the data, you are part of the problem. Stop believing the problem lies with your neighbor when the leaders of this country are harming you.
Yep.
When the people are literally telling you to look away from what your eyes and ears actually watched while somebody was unalived by ICE. 2 people were unalived by ICE. 3 people were Keep believing that as the numbers start to climb. Keep believing that it is appropriate for the sitting president of the United States to boom people in international waters and then wonder what happens when American citizens are in international waters.
Facts.
Keep wondering what's going to happen when we travel abroad and you tell somebody you're an American citizen. It's not going to save you anymore.
Nope.
He is destroying the legacy of the country that was already tarnished. Let me say that again.
Get him.
He's destroying the legacy of a country that already had to apologize for the dastardly deeds they had committed in the past.
Amen.
And now he's bringing it to the present.
Sick.
And you guys want to keep defending it. At what point do you realize you're destroying it for your children and your grandchildren?
Amen.
You're literally destroying it for the next generation as he rolls back regulations for clean air and clean water.
Yes.
As he rolls back education, as he rolls back healthcare to the 1950s, you want to sit there and continue to support this administration. And worse yet, we keep blaming Trump. We keep blaming Trump, Zeus, but we have an entire sitting Congress.
True.
An entire sitting Congress who are supposed to work for the American people, not for Donald Trump.
Wow.
When you hear Mike Johnson talk about the president's agenda, you should all be terrified that the head of the House is telling you that he's following a president's agenda and not working for the American people, the constituents of the United States. And you sit here every day in Zeus's live denigrating the host, denigrating the panelists who are literally saying what happened to you, that as an American citizen, you are following this. You are being spoon-fed toxins, and you continue to commit atrocities in the name of a sitting, corrupt predator and thief.
Wow. W, Jim. And I like how you called that out. We're literally looking at these folks that claim to be MAGA, and we're going, aren't you supposed to be Americans? And you're not even doing your civic duty of stopping corruption. They're propping it up. And I don't understand why they're doing it, Jim. I really don't get it. What do you think is the reason they're willing to set aside all morals to prop this up? Could it be they hate Democrats that much?
But that's just it. Why do they hate Democrats? See what I'm saying? I never go into a live and talk about why I hate people. I go into a live and I talk about facts and data and statistics and how it's harming the people. How it's harming the people. See, this is the thing. We have a choice right now in this country to make a decision of whether or not we're going to fight back against the tyranny of the minority. And that's exactly what, if you have not read that book, let me suggest a book for all of you. Republican, Democrat, Independent, far leftist, progressive, liberal, libertarian. I don't care what you call yourself. There are only two parties that are voting in the elections, and that is Republican and Democrat. And if you guys don't understand that, you have to start working at building grassroots so that we can have more than one party and get rid of the electoral college. Let's start there, working together to get rid of the electoral college. That's unnecessary, first of all.
Amen.
But if you are still sitting back and not understanding that we are literally working under the tyranny of the minority, which is a great book by Timothy. I can't believe I just forgot the writer's name.
Go ahead and get it out.
It's called The Tyranny of the Minority. So go ahead and just Google it.
Look it
It's
up.
on Amazon. Great job. But I want you guys to understand the importance of actually reading a book, actually reading the Constitution, actually understanding the laws, not only of the federal government, but your individual states. I want you guys to literally comprehend that we, the American people, can no longer sit idly by and have people regurgitate like baby birds and you just swallow what they're telling you.
Don't do it.
Because at some point you have to recognize that what they're telling you is not copacetic with what you are witnessing, what's happening in your house, what's happening with your healthcare. We have veterans as of today that no longer can receive monetary compensation for the harm that was caused to them while they served our nation.
Amen.
That was your Congress that did that yesterday. Wow. That was your Congress that literally allowed for those things to be taken away from your veterans that have literally sacrificed time with their family and their future because they are now injured or harmed in some way. And you guys are sitting there going, well, you know, we got to cut somewhere. Yeah, let's cut education. Oh, we got to cut somewhere. Got to cut healthcare.
Wow.
Got to cut somewhere. As the inflation of the budget for the military gets bigger and bigger and bigger, as the deficit is now over $2 trillion larger in 1 year, Zeus.
1 year.
1 year. He has increased the deficit by $2 trillion.
What a disgrace.
When is it enough?
Thank you.
When is it enough?
Thank
When we, the American people, are sitting in that
Tell 'em,
third
Jim.
world country that they like to attack?
Thank you. When is it enough? Thank you.
And then they talk, every single night on the news, I don't know what channel, it doesn't matter what you're watching, they try to claim he's not a racist. Not a racist, not a racist. He literally is getting rid of museums. He's literally wiping out the actual historic events of people who have served this nation with integrity and honor. He's literally removing information where you can locate actual African-American heroes in this country. He's eradicating the history of names and places where people have served with honor, while he and his fat cats steal your tax dollars day in and day out. how he takes money that was literally
Go ahead,
appropriated.
Just stealing our money.
Appropriated to help your children.
Wow.
Stealing it.
Yeah. Wow.
The treasury, going into the treasury and propagating. No, I'm not going to say anything to that grandma. That grandma embarrassed herself. And if anybody would bother to go read the case of her grandson, which was tragic in and of itself, she wasn't up there talking about her grandson, y'all. She was up there talking about Trump. Just like Trump wasn't talking about Jesse Jackson when he left this world. He was talking about Trump. He was attacking Obama.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the people. It's about himself and how much he can steal and how much he can make you believe absurdities so that you will commit atrocities in his name.
Amen.
He's trying to get right now the name of Donald Trump trademarked so that he can earn money from any building, by the way, that has his name on it. Did you know that?
I did.
That happened yesterday.
Wow.
That's
This guy's
the kind of stuff
he's a
we need to
grifter.
be talking about.
He needs to be impeached, Jim. He needs to be impeached, removed, convicted, all of the above. Tried, retried. Just keep him tied up in the court system until it's all over, because it's just sick. All right, but listen, we got to move it on. All right, my good friend.
And I want to remind people that when you hear somebody say something and they don't understand what they're saying, that grandma literally said that she advocated schmurder. She said that
I
on
heard her.
national
Yeah,
TV.
I did. I
Go
got
back
that.
and watch the video.
We did hear that. All right, there you go. Well, listen, Jim.
Anyway, I love you.
Love you too.
I want to remind Texas, early voting. Get out there and vote, and vote the opposite of what you would do if you were a Republican. Vote for a Democrat. Vote for the people who believe in progressing our nation forward. The people who identify as progressives, the people who identify as leftists, you better wake up also. And I'm going to make this very clear. There are only two parties that are voting. That is Republican and Democrat. If you want to make a better tomorrow for you, for your children and your future grandchildren, then we must all unite to fight the alt-right, vote Democrat, progress the nation forward, grassroots involvement in your local areas to create a progressive party or an independent party so that we can literally do right through ranked choice voting in this country. Vote your conscience to take care of every American citizen, to protect civil rights, human rights, women's rights, educational rights, and a belief in science and math. Peace out, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Jim, W's in the chat. The beautiful Jim. No lies detected. It's Friday. We can let our hair down a little bit. You know what I mean? Thank you, Jim. Wow. Oh, so sorry. Dropped you at the same time. All right, yeah, okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. So wasn't that amazing? Let's give the beautiful Jim another huge round of applause. Do we have anybody out there that disagrees with anything they've heard so far? Put a 1 in the chat if you disagree with anything you've heard so far in this show this morning, all right? Because to me, it's been amazing that I've been able to get up here and we got so much organic, authentic feedback. And I'm going to continue to roast DJ because DJ, I'm a little disappointed today you didn't want to get up here and take this L after you saw what the Supreme Court did. I mean, once the Supreme Court has spoken, it's a done deal. You now have to live with this, all of you Trump supporters, that what Donald Trump did, ripping us all off with the tariffs to the tune of, I'm going to $10,000, right? It was illegal. Illegal, DJ. You owe us an apology because it's not even about me or you no more. It was deemed illegal. You now have something that you can agree with, because this isn't something you can just go, oh, well, you know, it was rigged, because you know they want to say it's the court was rigged. This is the Supreme Court telling him what he did was illegal. He needs to be impeached and removed, and it's not debatable anymore. You can get up here and spin it however you want to spin it, and none of us are going to believe it. All right, so DJ, please get on up here and issue that public apology. And I shouldn't even have to say please, honestly. I shouldn't even. Never mind, I take back the please. What was I thinking? DJ, get on up here and issue that public apology. And any of you Trump voters, actually, any Trump voter, get up here and apologize, because the Supreme Court has said what he did was illegal. There's no playing it both ways anymore. There's no, oh, it was in New York. It was a leftist judge and it was a rigged system. No. And when a court that you got in your pocket comes back and tells you what you're doing is you need to cool off, you're going too far, it's that bad. And it means, once again, the Democrats, independents, and real Republicans have been right. Okay. All right. Anyone disagree? Did I miss it? Put a 1 in the chat if you disagree with what Big Zeus has said so far, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't. But if you disagree with what I've said, go ahead. Or if you disagree with what Jim or Q Dog has said, go ahead, put that 1 in the chat. If you are in the guest request, please double check if you didn't. You may have accidentally sent me a guest request. How about that? You see roaches scatter when the lights come on. You know what I mean? Good morning. Who do we have? Let's see. Who do we have? Ladies and gentlemen, who do we have? Who do I have? I'm hitting accept. Okay, let's go. Who do I have? Let's see. Make sure you're not in the guest request on accident, ladies and gentlemen. You might end up in the box. I might catch you doing something you didn't want to be caught doing. Who is this? James, Janet. James. So you're just gonna go? Were you going through the metal detector? It's already going off. James, you're in my I should have charged you the 2 galaxies. If you're in the box and I bring you up here today, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 galaxies if you accidentally sent the request, because we've been doing this for so long. Live for love. Good morning. Who do we have this? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen.
Just her normal cereal. Then Zoe started scratching her throat, said it felt tight. Marcus recognized anaphylaxis.
Hold on, Busy B. Busy B.
Had never had a serious allergic reaction.
Busy B.
I'm upset. Split-second decision.
No. Hold on, Busy B. What are you talking about up there? Hold on, Busy B.
How do you feel about Monday?
Busy B.
10 minutes to arrive, maybe longer.
What was?
He scooped Zoe into his arms, told Sarah.
Busy B. I didn't like hearing that about the throat and all that other stuff, ma'am. But you need to make sure you're not in the guest requests, all right? Please. Y'all, what do y'all be doing when I'm online and people are coming up here? Y'all be really out here doing some strange things. I've heard every excuse in the book. And it always ties to something nasty. Live for love. Live for love. Hit the unmute button. Okay. Live for love. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I get it. But don't be doing that while I'm on. I get it. I don't get it, actually. Some people are just downright doggone perverted. Perverted. Curved one. You're in my curved one. Curved one. Did you know we can? Oh, you dropped curved one. That's 2 galaxies. All right. Next time I see you, you did the right thing dropping out, because I've been hearing a lot of things. Emma. Well, I think from what I'm hearing is tap, right? So what I think is you're getting confused on where to tap. You actually have to tap on me. If you try to tap anywhere else, you might end up in the guest request. So make sure if you are tapping the screen, let me see. Wait a second. Hold on. Actually, you got to tap the area above me. Or I know you can tap me. Tap on Zeus. You tap anywhere else, I'm going to be all up in your business. And I don't mind doing it. At this point, because you waste my time, I'm going to waste your time. Let's just do it that way. I don't mind doing it, finding out what you're really up to. All right. And it's 2 galaxies too. I win every time. All right. Moving it along. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We got a couple. Who do we got? Lenny the Brown Spoo. Lenny. Okay, Lenny. You owe me 2 galaxies. Vanetta. Vanetta. Katya. Marvin. Just sad. Sad. All right. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're moving it along. All right. Let's see. Who do we have? The Queen Morgan. I think this is Queen.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to leave the hospital and I pushed the wrong button. I'm
okay.
sorry.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Gentlemen, I would say I would try to get the Galaxy, but that's one of my good friends on TikTok. I couldn't do it to her. All right. Seriously. But please feel better. All right. Seriously. Let's see. Who do we got next? Mr. Scorpio Man. Let's see. Mr. Scorpio Man. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Who do we got? There we go. We're clearing the box though, ladies and gentlemen. Winnie, good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi.
I just want to come up and say thank you for talking about everything that's really going on with our government and keeping awareness out there. And I appreciate everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
And from
you.
time to time, I come in and just listen, but I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, because it's a lot of hard work, seriously. All right, but now, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in North Carolina right now.
North Carolina, all right. And you don't support Trump in North Carolina, because I know some folks out in North Carolina that support Trump.
No, I voted for Harris.
Thank you.
I voted for Harris.
Thank you.
This is a hot mess we're living in.
Thank
Everything she said has come to pass.
Ain't that something? Like she was a prophet in a way, huh?
Right,
Yeah.
everything.
Wow. Thank you.
And I do feel our country is ready for a female president.
I agree.
We're being beyond ready for 20 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, listen, you and I, we are in full agreement with that. All right, but happy Friday. All right, and seriously, thank you for
Yes,
coming.
blessings. Happy Friday. And thank you. Thank you for bringing me up.
All right, you're totally welcome. You're totally welcome. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we spread love, not hate on this platform, and you know it, all right? Who do we have next? Pins fans. Good morning.
Good morning. I was watching Pam Bondi.
Hold on.
doing her
I didn't get
thing.
to introduce myself, or you didn't introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So are you up here on behalf to advocate for Trump, or you're not a Trump voter?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. So you're not a Trump voter, but you got something to get off your chest about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was watching the hearings with Pam Bondi in it, right?
Yeah.
And they asked her a couple questions about being molested or raped or what
Well, you
have
got to
you.
use clean TikTok words. Clean TikTok
Oh,
words.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, she said nobody should have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another question thrown up to her. All right. And she wouldn't even acknowledge the victims in the back.
Yeah. Now, how did that
It
sit
was
with
just
you?
Not at all. The smoke was coming out of my ears.
Wow.
I couldn't talk to nobody because everybody's trying to get Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And so I made a video just to let myself, decompress.
You made a video. You posted it on your profile.
Yeah,
Okay.
of Pam Bondi. Anyway, the Supreme Court ruled against Trump today about his massive tariffs.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you knew or not.
I did.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So, about how old are you? I'm just curious.
Oh, I'm 63. I'm
63.
old and decrepit.
No. I'm just wondering. You have a lot of friends that are up there with you in age, and I would imagine you have friends that are Trump voters, right? Or I should say,
I
people.
got a couple.
You know people who are Trump voters.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to call them friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, my two daughters voted for him. I tried talking them out of it, but they were convinced when he says something, he does it. I could not convince them whatsoever. Now, my oldest daughter,
That's unfortunate.
Okay,
Where are
yeah.
they at, if you don't
My-
mind? Because maybe because I'm having a
Oh,
hard
I'm
time.
in Pennsylvania.
But are they there too?
No. I wish they were.
No. I'm just trying to find out, how does that end up happening? Because what I'm doing is I'm looking to talk to some of these conservative women, so to speak, right? And trying to get to the
Yeah.
bottom of what really is going on to get you to a place mentally where you're endorsing the most corrupt and evil person on the planet.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do also with them. All right. Well, they were convinced that they would do more for the working man and woman. Okay.
Are they
because you know
religious?
how he was. Yeah. Well, they turned religious, but that I'm glad they did in one sense, because my two daughters went through a real rough time in their life, and in some ways, if my youngest daughter had not have done that, she probably wouldn't be alive today. So
I understand.
she got some.
I understand. Well,
but
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it, because right now you see all the bad news coming out, and I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious, in the world that you're in, do you see do you see a decline in the people that are supporting Trump's? And that's all I wanted to know. But
yeah, they do. There is.
yeah, I thought so.
Like I was gonna say, like I said, my oldest daughter didn't get the gist of it at first when I was trying to talk to her about it.
Right.
But now that he's in there, she's starting to see the effects it's having on her, because she works two jobs. Okay, she's a single parent, and she has to rely on some form of assistance.
Oh, so she's getting government
And
assistance,
so
the socialist programs.
Yeah, so when Trump did what he did with them, she was very concerned, because at one time during a shutdown, he made it clear that he wasn't paying those benefits out.
Yeah. It started to hit home at that point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Well, you know what I say, a hard head makes for a soft behind, right? But listen up, sir. I'm going to let you go. But if you do, send your daughters this way, all right? We'll take on.
I'd be more than glad to.
We'll take on. We'll tackle it. Huh? We'll tackle it together.
When do you normally come on?
6:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday.
Okay. Oh, okay. I appreciate you letting me come up and vent a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. All right, but bring them back so we can go ahead and cast that demon out of them, if you don't mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'd love to.
Thank you. That's my new friend, Pins Fan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Take care.
Oh, you too. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're cooking and booking this morning. Good morning, Nutty. How are you doing, bro?
Doing great. How are you? How's the kingdom?
We're doing good.
So my approach is going to be different this morning. I actually want to talk about the Winter Olympics. The reason why I want to talk about the Winter Olympics, I love the Olympics.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Summer Olympics, they're my favorite. But the Winter Olympics, I like the Winter Olympics. It doesn't go unnoticed for me that there are only 4 Black people that's representing the United States in the Winter Olympics. Now, some would say it's because, it's white people who do a lot of skiing, and that's probably true. But we have to be more diverse as a nation. And then we're not just talking Black people. The Winter Olympics is very cloudy. It's got an overcast with blizzard conditions coming from the United States. And I was watching one of the interviews early in the morning, and a couple of the athletes that was representing the United States was talking about the field are being perceived and looked at from people all over the world. I want y'all to let that sink in. Even our Olympians representing the United States they're being perceived that they're not accustomed to. Now, some say that, their welcome has been warm. Others say that it's been as ice cold as the Winter Olympics itself.
Right.
Our politics, it reaches beyond the borders of the United States of America.
Wow.
It is a global effect where our Olympians, who we're supposed to be proud of, right? Zeus, I'm 125 years old. This is the first time I've watched the Olympics where I haven't been USA, USA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's a sport that I don't understand, like curling.
Yeah.
I'm usually USA, USA.
We're not doing that now.
And I watched. No, I'm not. I watched the women's hockey team. They were playing against Canada for a gold medal. And the United States pulled it out 2-1 in overtime to win the gold. But do you know, Zeus, this is it's going to be hard for me to admit this. I was actually rooting for Canada to beat the United States. Yeah.
Wow. I don't blame you, honestly.
I was, and I don't say that. With any sort of glee.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the United States is still my home.
Mm.
And you want to see your home do well before anyone else's home, right?
Yeah. But when your home is being ran the way ours is, then it's not really a home anymore, right? Is that kind of where you're coming from?
That's exactly it. So it doesn't go beyond the fact that we noticed that even amongst the U.S. citizens, the excitement just isn't there, and it's because it goes back to our politics.
Rightfully so.
It goes back to the divisiveness of this administration, this regime. The fact that the United States of America just won gold for the first time since 2008.
Yeah.
In women's hockey. And yet I'm happy for those ladies because they worked their tails off.
Right.
They worked their tails off. But it was like a sinking feeling when that overtime goal came in and seeing the Canadian women just deflated.
Sick.
Any other time I'd be like, too bad, so sad. Too bad, so sad. But I just wanted to point out that when you have U.S. citizens, and of course, everyone's not like me.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are people still, ride or die for the United States. I'm sure there are. And yeah, no shade.
Yeah.
But when you have anyone feeling like I feel like, oh, well, if we win, great. If not, okay, whatever. That shows you we need to change. We need to change what we're doing as a nation.
Facts.
We need to change what we're doing as a nation. And very quickly, I wanted to talk about the poll that you had cited earlier in the broadcast.
The YouGov poll.
So what's surprising to me about that, Zeus?
What's that?
That those numbers of disapproval didn't seem high enough. Because there were a couple that you said there were 40 something percent. And I'm like, why isn't it not 99%?
Yeah. We're
So
getting the bottom of the bucket.
So it shows you we still have work to do.
Facts.
To get these people to change their mind. And the last thing I'm going to say before I get out of here is Texas. Texas, you are in early voting right now. Please get out and vote.
Amen.
Please get out and vote.
Amen.
They're pulling this crap already where a lady showed up at the polls. She had her passport on her. Why she left her driver's license in the car is beyond me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she had her passport on her. They wouldn't even accept her passport. So they told her that she was not registered to vote, even though she's voted. And she's in her mid-50s.
Yeah.
And even though she's voted in every election since she's been able to vote. So she had to go all the way back to her car and get her driver's license, When did a driver's license become a document that supersedes a passport? Because isn't the passport proof of citizenship?
It should be. It should be.
I have a passport, and that's proof of citizenship, but yet they wouldn't accept her passport. So Texas, no matter what you do, make them take a provisional ballot, make them take something, but don't leave until you vote. Thank you, Zeus, and have a great day, man.
All right. W's in the chat. No lies detected. And yes, get out there and vote in the state of Texas. We need your vote more than we've ever needed it before. Really, this is truly about saving the country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have anyone else out there that disagrees with Big Zeus? All right, because I think I've connected so many dots. I think I've connected so many dots this morning, and you all deserve a huge round of applause. I'm looking in the audience because I see. Well, you know what? I'll do this. Then I got to get up out of here. Then since we've totally obliterated MAGA. Wait a second. I disagree with you, but eating too much. Oh. Wait a second. Hold on. Who said that? You disagree with me? We can have that. Eating too much Taco Bell. Oh, hold on up here. Let's get up here.
No, you misread what I said, Zeus. I said I disagree with you eating so much Taco Bell.
I don't eat Taco Bell.
You don't eat Taco Bell?
No, I eat real. Yeah. So that's going to be at least 2 galaxies. That has to be 2 galaxies, Jesse. I'm kidding.
Zeus, did you? While I have you up here, did you hear what Tucker Carlson said back in December of 2010?
I can't say that I have, honestly, and I don't want to start doing the whole hands flying things and make myself look guilty. So I'll just say I can't say I have.
Zeus, he called for the execution of Michael Vick because of what he did with dogs, and I agree that what Michael Vick did with dogs was egregious. But why is Tucker Carlson not calling for the execution of individuals that touch children, practically had them as a cuisine? I just don't understand. You know where I go with that? It is, Zeus?
What's that?
It's a systemic racism thing.
Yep.
Why?
You know where I go with that? It's quicker to demonize people of color and say their lives aren't valued at the same rate as, the so-called white man's life is. But over here, we call that out a lot. So what you're saying is equal, you do harsh crime, you get harsh time. Remember that lady, that MAGA grandma, she said that, right? So you're saying that applies to these folks?
Yeah. Zeus, there's also, I don't know if you saw on X, but there was an X post that said, there was a white woman who said, I wish we would just get back to the normal police brutality. She said that after Alex Preddy was unalive. So what she meant to say was, I wish we could get back to just black people being attacked by the police. That's pretty much what that means. It's this cry for normalcy in the white community, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. I say, we care so much about the e-files, and I get that. We should always advocate for children.
Yeah.
But white men have been touching children for centuries. It's a cultural norm, unfortunately. We can look at the statistics. This is nothing new.
MAGA,
this time it's just Trump doing it this time.
But why all the distraction? Every time they get caught with their, they get caught doing bad things, they go, "Who? Look at this," and they show a person of color. What's that all about? Because that's their trick.
I don't know.
That's the little trick to throw us off of their trails. But we know who the real criminals are. I've always wondered, when they go and they collect data about crimes in this country, have they ever looked at all the crime they committed during slavery, for instance, and just documented that? Because I think if you actually started counting the real crimes, especially when it implicates them as being, racist, the crime numbers would go through the roof. I don't trust the crime data at this point because I think what they're doing is literally just going around blaming people of color and ignoring the stuff they're doing, and it's not going to work with me anymore. But that's my opinion. What do you think?
I do agree. I if you don't mind, before I go, I wanted to touch on something that Jim said, about people not voting and people who are far left. I had to be honest, Zeus. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. When Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Marie hit Puerto Rico, which is sacred to me, I didn't like the way the Trump administration handled it, and I was upset with the government. I didn't vote, but you know what I did do? I did since the moment Kamala Harris announced her run for presidency. I got on this app and I debated. I hosted my own live and went 8, 9, 10 hours a day, every day until the election.
Yeah.
So, there's a time to start fighting and there's a time and to not. And I respect anyone who chooses,
Wait a
who
second.
feels like the government has failed them not to vote.
Wait a
You
second.
know what I mean?
You say you didn't vote for Joe Biden. Well, that was in 2020. Did you vote for Kamala?
I did, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I stood on the front lines and advocated for
But-
Kamala, of course.
But so you didn't vote for Trump at all.
Of course not. Why would I
But
vote
then
for that
Biden
goofball?
came in and you just said I couldn't bring myself to vote for Biden. But Biden won.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did, and I'm
Okay.
glad he did. And
Okay.
see, what I'm saying is I'm trying to level with people. So like, I didn't vote for the harm reduction. I could have voted for Biden for harm reduction. I didn't, and I respect people who don't.
It's just,
if someone
just weird.
who
It's just weird. I mean, I don't know why that can't, but okay, we're here. It's weird, I guess, but I mean, what can I say? I can't say much. You didn't vote for Trump. You didn't vote for Trump. You didn't vote for Biden the first time, but you voted for Kamala.
Sure did.
I don't have a dog in that fight, honestly. But
I just think that when a territory is out of power for over a year and a half, you wish you had more faith in their government.
Yeah.
There's family members that weren't able to be contacted for almost a year in Puerto Rico. You had no
Yeah, but
idea.
you
The
can't
only way
just
you would have
blame
known is if you
Biden.
flew there.
You blame Biden.
Of course
for
not.
that?
No, I
Oh.
didn't blame Biden. I blamed the whole government. I
Oh.
just decided
So
to
you were
take a stance and not
disillusioned.
vote for anyone.
Oh, you were disillusioned. All right.
Lots
well,
of feelings, dude. Lots of
you
feelings
can't-
cloud your judgment sometimes.
Fair enough. Well, I hope you've taken accountability, all right, and thought about that, all right, because harm reduction might not necessarily be the bad thing if you think about it, right? Because
Of course
then you
not.
get to where we're at right now. I think a lot of people actually sat out, and now we have terror on our hands, so to speak. But it is what it is, and I'm
agree.
glad you at least spoke on it. All right, but I got to get up out of here.
I'm just saying, Zeus. I respect people. I respect people who don't. That's just it's a small percentage.
Well,
I
Will you respect people who
I
don't vote?
I understand them. Well, if they're taking a stand against the democracy, I respect them for that. I do.
I have.
That's just where I stand. You know what I mean?
I disagree with that, Jesse. But,
and I understand. That's
but,
fair.
we can get into that on another day. I do believe that a lot of people have lofty concepts and ideas sometimes that I think puts them out. As they say, they're over their skis in a way. And when you get too far over your skis, you get into some dangerous territory, so to speak. You can injure yourself. And I think we have to be. You can have ideas. This is just my opinion, though. You can have your own belief system and you have to be your ideas. But at some point, you have to be reasonable and practical. And I know that none of these parties are perfect, right? And so in the spirit of, being, I think the ultimate goal, honestly, is for people to make you feel like you don't have the ability to have an impact and then just kind of just disconnect and you hit that eject button. If you find yourself in that position, that's when you should be going, oh, maybe I need to stop that because that's where they want me to be so that I can just sit back and take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm
tempting.
past that, and that's why I'm going to vote for progressivism no matter what. And that's for the most part going to be on the left side. But I think everyone goes through that.
Yeah.
Finally get to the other side. That they start doing that. People start to vote for progressivism again. But like I said, I think it's a process, and people eventually, once they get over that hill, they start voting again, or they start putting in movements, and that's what we're doing here in Minneapolis. So I appreciate it, Zeus. I just wanted to. I come up here and I talk a lot, and people hear me talk that follow me from your space, and they question why I didn't vote for Biden.
Yeah.
I just sometimes when people feel like the government has failed them, they fail the government and they fail people around them, and people can take ownership for that, or people cannot, and I respect people's choices.
Fair enough. All right. Well, listen, Jesse Speaks Truth 2.0. Thank you for coming up here and getting that off of your chest this morning. I appreciate it, and we can get into more details about the other stuff later. All right. All righty. Somebody named Spark Chaser keeps begging to talk to me in the comments section. I told them I don't got much time, but Spark Chaser, how can I help you?
Hey, Zeus, really quick question. Thanks for bringing me up. So I'm in Texas, and I know that this vote is going to be for which candidate you want. So why is this vote important? What can I do to put the Democrats in the best position with my vote?
Oh, I thought you had a problem with me. You were saying stuff in the comment section like you said, I'll debate you. It's not that.
No, no, I'm sorry. I had to say something like that. Just, I guess, I was trying to be as clear and articulate as I could, but really, I'm just trying to understand what this vote's about and how I can make it the strongest possible vote.
Oh, well, have you done any independent research?
Not a lot, not very much. I know that one candidate's pretty good. That Trump didn't let what's his face talk on the talk show.
Did you? How do you tend to vote?
Democrat for sure, all left.
Oh, okay. So then I don't understand, I guess, because I'm assuming you've been keeping up, just like a lot of us have been, with things that are happening in the country, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Which of those people do you believe is going to actually stand up for you based on what you've been seeing? I'm just curious. Because I don't like telling people to do things sometimes, because if you do it and then it doesn't work out, you know what you're going to do?
Right. No, that one guy seems good. I can't think of his name right now, but he, you know the one I'm talking about that
No.
was just on Colbert. The guy that was on Colbert, and then
I know who he is.
Yeah.
I know of
Yeah,
him.
he seems like. Yeah, I've heard him talk. He sounds pretty good, but
Tallarico, yeah.
I'm just not. My real question is, how important is this vote? I know the midterms are very important, but how important is the actual vote just to see who gets into the midterms? It just doesn't seem that important.
But that's my concern to you. It doesn't seem that important. I just had a guest come up here with that attitude, and we've all said everything matters. Every time you have an opportunity to speak up for yourself, it matters. I don't think there's any situation in life where you shouldn't speak up for what you need or advocate for yourself. And if you have somebody out there that aligns with what you believe in, then I think that means you need to get up off of your rusty dusty. I don't know what you're doing, but and make yourself available to do what you have the right to do. Because a lot of people don't even have the right to do it. Because then if anything does happen, I think it leaves you in a better position to at least complain. If you didn't vote, how are you going to complain?
Right. No,
Now,
for
some
sure.
people some people are saying you should vote for Jasmine Crockett.
Right.
What is your issue with Jasmine?
None really. I mean,
I
I'm just
kind of
gonna vote
heard.
against-
I heard a hesitation, and she wasn't the first name you mentioned, so I was just curious.
It's okay. So it seems to me like the other guy, Tarico, is that his name? It just seems like he has. It seems like he has more going on for him. He's like the snowball that's going down the hill faster, collecting more snow. It seems like
That's like a metaphor.
Right.
That's a metaphor.
But, I mean,
we're not making music. We're not writing songs or anything like that. I mean, like when you say things, I want concrete things that make sense to you, that I can actually say, you know what, I think that makes sense. If we just talk snowballs, well, I don't think snowballs coming towards me is a good thing. If you get my drift.
Well, no, for sure. So let me clarify. I've heard him speak on like being a Christian, and there's other Texan values that he's proposed, and I feel like the things that I have heard from him, I feel like could put him out in front and because a lot of Texans like myself are very unhappy, obviously, with Trump, but a lot of them voted for him. So maybe somebody that can align with some of these more core values, like he seems to be speaking on, can actually sway them to just say, okay, why not? This other side isn't working very good.
Could you imagine there's probably people listening to this and they're wondering why you can't give us a solid answer as to why you can't support Jasmine Crockett? I mean, I believe she's put in the work. She's speaking up for all the right issues. If I'm simplifying it, bear with me, but she's very, very qualified. She has experience in the game already. She's already in Congress. She could actually hit the ground running. Is it something about her that makes you a little more? Is there something about her that gives you makes you want to pause about supporting her?
No, not really. No, I'm not super political, and I need to be more.
But you came
you
came into my show, and like you insisted. And I don't know if you're trolling me when people do that. I don't know the motive behind that, right? You might be trying to clip this, but as I'm trying to, press you about things that I'm thinking you should already know, I'm not getting any clear-minded answers. And my concern is, I would hate to say it in a way, but it might sting, and I don't know you, but it seems to me you like might have an issue with her as a woman and a woman of color, maybe as a black woman.
No, of course not. Of course.
Would you-
Listen, Zeus, I listen to you all the. I'm anti-Trump,
Well, that's
and I just want. I really want my vote to impact our best chances of winning in Texas.
well,
That's all. No, I have no
could
problem.
you would have no problem justifying why you supported Jasmine Crockett. Then you're basically saying I could go into the voting booth, Zeus, and I would vote for Jasmine Crockett, and if anyone questioned me about it, I would be able to explain to them why I did it, and I wouldn't let them try to make me feel bad about it. Oh, she's a black woman, she talks ghetto, because those narratives are out there about her, right? She's
sure.
not disciplined. You would be able to push back against those things because, whatever you did to figure out, and justify your support for her, you would be able to stand on it 10 toes down. But it doesn't seem like you can stand on it 10 toes down today. So my hope is you look into Jasmine Crockett a lot more.
For sure. All right. I really appreciate it, Zeus. Great.
And thank you. No, great conversation. I appreciate it. You see, I don't have to, we need to have honest conversations about stuff like this. But when people have an issue voting for Jasmine Crockett, I go, well, okay, so it's like Kamala again or AOC again. I mean, it's like, what are you really trying to get at? And if you're not at least aware that that's how it can look, and you better have a good answer for why it's not that. If you're not aware of that, then we have problems. You know what I'm saying? You got to know.
Yeah.
You got to know we're in a situation now where people are sensitive to these matters, right? We're very sensitive now for people randomly saying bad things about Vice President Kamala Harris, even Joe Biden. All right, because we understand a lot of it's built on misinformation and disinformation and maybe even personal biases, right? And when we see that's what it is, the concern goes up because, as you can see, some people don't even vote. Or they go in there and they vote for Donald Trump and then they'll say, well, I had no other choice but to vote for Donald Trump because Kamala Harris, or wherever you're at now, Tarico, I had no other choice because Jasmine Crockett. It's like, no, we're all adults. You can fact check yourself. And if you look into Jasmine Crockett's record, I'm saying she's one of the only people, if not the only one, that is not afraid to say what she believes needs to be said in the moments that I think matter. She's been very instrumental, even in the position she's in, to help move things forward in terms of holding the sitting president accountable. She's not intimidated easily. I mean, what more do you want out of a leader, especially because she has the experience?
Right. No, you're right, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and once again, I just came up here to try to understand why this vote was important. And
all
I think
voting
that
is important. All voting.
Right.
Anytime you got a chance to get your behind into the voting booth, you better understand.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's not important to you because you haven't looked into why it's important, but that's really up to you. You got to educate yourself. If I were in Texas, everything matters, because I would already, I don't live in Texas, but I've spoken to people from Texas, and I got an impression about it, and I'm going, okay, a lot of people probably aren't being represented the way that they should be, because some people may not be voting. Some people don't understand how things impact them. Whatever it is happening out there, but I don't think it's a reflection of where the overall country feels we need to be going. I really don't, because when people really drill down and you start asking people, do you want the ability to be in a country that's considered the wealthiest country on the earth? Don't you think we should be able to at least go to the hospital if we're injured and it not turn into a life or death matter? Most people will say, yeah.
Yeah, Texas is weird, Zeus. It's like people vote against their best interest. Like I'm a musician, full-time musician, and I know other musicians who support Trump even though he actively tried to get rid of their health insurance and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. I have some friends up here now that I think about it. Maybe they can speak on it because they're from Texas. Hi, Shay. Hi, Dr.
Hey.
Keisha. How are you?
Hey. Oh, good.
I kind of got put into a predicament with this guest. All right. And I know you both are from Texas. And so if you can offer some insight, please, If not, I get it.
Yeah, this election is huge, and you're right that Texas is. We really don't have a lot of. We'll have I think the election in 2022 when we could have ousted Abbott, like 11 million registered voters didn't show up to vote. Absolutely ridiculous. I really thought that 2024 Texas was going to go blue. We are a blue state. And I know people don't know that, but we are. But sadly, we just can't get voters to vote. That's why it's important to vote. Like, people have got to stop this BS about, well, I don't know if my vote counts and I don't really know. And maybe it's this and maybe it's that. This is why we have fascism running amok in our country right now. I am so sick of hearing this information. I don't know what happened to Dr. Keisha. Come on up.
She said she doesn't do a panel, so I'll let you talk and then I'll bring Dr. Keisha up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Well, you could give a Texas perspective, Dr. Keisha, since we're both in Houston. But yeah, so I will just say that, yeah, you've got to vote. And I think we have two excellent choices for our senator in Texas. It is a hard choice. I've got to go vote. They're both fantastic. I will be happy to vote for either one as our senator.
Yeah.
And I think Jasmine's got a great chance. I think Tallarica she'll pull things that Tallarica won't pull. He'll pull things that she won't pull. But I think at the end of the day, people are going to show up and vote for democracy and vote for people's rights.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't get this third party nonsense. It's ridiculous. But yeah.
Did you get that, Sparks?
That's why.
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, vote, Sparks. You got to vote. We have to, and listen, I hate saying it, but we have to right now. We've got to vote blue no matter who. We have a two-party system, whether we like it or not. We've got to stop whining. That's how Trump got back in power. You know, it wasn't this condemnation of anything else in the Biden administration. It was absolutely the left that sat out on our party.
Yeah.
And I just sit here and I go, what the heck, this Board of Peace thing? I mean, guys, those of you that voted because of Palestine or didn't vote because of Palestine, look what's happening with the Board of Peace.
Bingo.
And we'll talk. I won't bring it up right now. That was going to be my topic of conversation, but we can talk about voting instead. But I don't know how the Republicans are sitting back and saying this is okay. I don't get it. He's chairman for life. He's using $10 billion of our own money to put in the Board of Peace. So I thought we were trying to lower the deficit. I thought we were trying to stop the spending and the bleeding. This country is in a huge amount of debt, $38 trillion in debt. What are we doing here? And it's an off brand, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this is another UN they're basically trying to set up, right? So they can run amok.
Wow.
And he has complete control over this. And this is just hotels. This is not about, the return thing to Palestine and to Israel, the right of return.
Yeah.
It's being wiped out completely.
Sick.
It's sick. It's sick.
And this is just this week's continuing saga.
Yes. Well, this has been going on for a little bit, but as he's falling asleep, where's the media calling out? He literally almost fell out of his chair.
Amen. Well, then there you go.
This is embarrassing.
Facts. Well, I hope you both got it.
Where's the calling out?
All right, but now we got to move on because Zeus has to get out of here. But
love you.
W's in the
bring
chat.
Dr. Keisha up. All right.
I hope we learned something today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. Oh my gosh, we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there you go. There you go. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. I knew that Dr. Keisha doesn't do panels, so please don't get on Dr. Keisha. That was Zeus's fault. Zeus. It's always Zeus's fault on the show for how things are ran.
You know what though?
The
92% does not care what you all think. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. As it is Black History Month and I still see us less talked about and less uplifted, I really don't care. I realize that while I'm fighting for myself, I'm always fighting for other people. So that's how I look at it. My brand matters, and at the end of the day, my white counterparts in medicine, as I shared in my last post, have always succeeded while we have had to push through and still try to do better care than our white counterparts for you all. So I really don't care what you all think, but I do have to watch how I move. You know why?
Why?
Just like these people are wondering why they don't vote for certain people, they find the littlest nitpick on Crockett or Harris to then magnify it and make it the problem why they don't vote for her. So if I'm sitting on a stage with somebody at one time makes a profane statement, profanity, says something, they're like, oh, but she was on the stage with so-and-so when they said that.
Yeah.
That's why
Well,
I moved calculatingly.
Yeah, and I get that. That's why I said I take full accountability, because what goes on this show, ladies and gentlemen, except for some situations, right? But when I say I take accountability, then that means don't put it on the panelists, put it on Big Zeus, and that's another huge W. Thank you.
I always will say this, Zeus, you are cool. That's why I come on here.
Yeah.
I am calculating my ways even more. I'll be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Check out my profile. It's changed. But a lot of people, and I was very disappointed today in what I heard.
What's that?
Because a lot of people want to support the Black person or support us, but they truly don't.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people coming to support or share my post. I don't. And they talk all this stuff. That's why I don't stay on stages with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I'm hurt by Jesse, because Jesse said he did not vote for Biden. But do you know what Biden did for me as a Black woman physician? For the first time, now my daughter knows there was a Black vice president female.
Wow.
Extremely qualified, albeit.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter.
That was a
For
spark.
the first time ever, do you know during the pandemic that a doctor unalived while trying to save a patient as an ER physician? Her name is Dr. Lorna Breen.
Oh, wow.
Her brother-in-law and her sister founded the Dr. Lorna Breen Act because,
Yeah.
again, all of you political people that know so much, the Dr. Lorna Breen Act prevents and helps mental health in physicians. Because you know why? Do you know if I say I have a major depressive disorder, what happens?
What happens?
It prevents me from getting credentialed at some hospitals. It holds up me being able to practice because mental
Wow.
health issues in physicians are counted against them to be able to practice.
Wow.
So it took a woman who got C19 and developed mental issues for the first time in her life to self-unalive herself. It took that for them to put this into law to make it, okay, listen, we're going to make awareness around mental health in physicians because y'all ignore us. You wonder why we're burned out and we're leaving, as I hear people waiting 3 to 4 months. This directly affects your health and your ability, even those in the VA, to be able to see a doctor.
Wow.
If you don't take care of the people that take care of you, then you won't have it.
Shame.
You won't.
Dang. Wow. W's in the chat for Dr. Keisha. Well, thank you. See, it's always nice when you can bless us with so much knowledge and
two more
expertise.
things.
Seriously.
Two more things. While we're walking down this street of what's going on so much, there are several doctors in the Epstein files, and it's interesting. The one that's actually on the board of, the chairman of the board of obstetrics and gynecology. It's very interesting that they still, while they're investigating him, he's still actively practicing. Interesting. But the vaccine panel, the advisory panel that was supposed to meet in February, they canceled it. So I hope you guys know, as in 30 years, the largest resurgence of measles is hitting us. And I want you to know, for the people that talking about the economy, what hits the economy more is when we have outbreaks. Measles, each case can cost from $30,000 to $80,000. For a small outbreak, and we have a large one because we have almost 1,000 cases since January, mind you, 1,000 new cases. And a small outbreak can cost us up to $1 million, cost the economy. That up to that much for a small outbreak. So while we've got RFK Jr. doing a fake workout that I could probably double and triple him any day, we've got serious issues going on that are affecting our economy.
Wow.
Oh, I work out every day.
Hey,
I don't
there
fake
you
it,
go.
and I don't take slow either. I don't take white stuff either. Actually, the Black Panther diet, actually eliminating white stuff, does very well for you.
Wow.
And that's like refined sugar and stuff like that, for those of you who know. But as we're ending Black History Month, support a Black person or uplift their cause, please. I keep saying that because I'm not having it. I'm on a self journey right now.
Yeah.
But I always will be helping you and others like-minded.
Thank you. And
Dr.
I
James
haven't done
Smith.
the bacon thing since you and I talked. I don't eat bacon anymore.
Look at you.
That's a W, Dr. Keisha, because I gave up bacon. You said and we can talk about
Okay,
that
so
later. But
listen,
yeah,
I'm so glad that, and it is important, you guys, to check your health while you're doing this, and check it from a qualified professional. I know you guys like to give each other advice. What
yeah,
works for you does not work for another. You
yeah,
can be great at working out, but same thing with health and medicine. It takes somebody who understands everyone and understands evidence-based medicine on how treating different people. Your workout may not work for another person. Your fitness, your health, your ketone, your intermittent fasting may not work for another person. So be
yeah.
careful when you advise others. But Dr. James Smith, first Black physician, Black man to get a medical degree in the United States. But you know
Yeah.
how he did it?
How?
He had to go to Scotland. Nobody would allow him.
Sad.
And my last post was because the American Medical Association, the one that is touted to be the largest medical association, did not allow people like me for over 150 years to be part of it. And the reason why this is important, because in order to get credentialed, to get insurance license, to be able to actually practice, they required you to be part of a medical institution.
Yeah.
But they let the local chapters ban us from there. So we started the National Medical Association. And you know what we do, like we always do? We allow everybody to be part of it.
Amen. Amen.
Everybody.
Inclusivity.
Yes,
Inclusivity. Wow. You're doing amazing. And I just gotta say thank you so much, Doc. All right.
Thank you.
Now, Big
And
Zeus,
thank you for those that truly support
you're
the medical collective.
make sure you're following Dr. Keisha Davis, ladies and gentlemen, yes, and the medical collective, because we got to get that out there. Keep it rocking and rolling. All righty then. All right. Thank you. Oh my gosh. W's in the chat. Dame, I saw you in the audience, bro. I had a serious question to ask you. If you got like 2 minutes, bro, I got a question to ask you. All right. Because this is bothering me, bro. Come on up here. Let's have this conversation if you don't mind. Because something happened yesterday. And I said to myself, I wonder what Brother Dame thinks about this. You know, they get mad when I say Brother Dame, but Dame, seriously, bro, you in the chat, maybe it's okay. You might be busy this morning. All right, Dame. Is Dame in the audience this morning? I'll show you what bothers me. I'll show you what's bothering me, Dame. I'll show you what's bothering me. It's not going to be that deep of a conversation. It's just something I said. Maybe this is something you could host a live about. All right. And it has to do with your Donald Trump. He did something yesterday. Okay. All right. Here it goes. 60 seconds. He said 60 seconds. All right. All right. There you go. Here we go. I just want to play this clip for you. Okay. I just want to get this thing queued up. I'll play it. Is he here? Where is he at? Right here. Okay, he says 60 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't throw tomatoes and stuff like that at Dame. Dame is he's actually pulling. He takes 2 steps forward and about 10 steps back every time he comes to the show. But this is something that I think he's gonna have to explain to his followers about. See, okay, is he here? Is he here? Okay. He says 60 seconds. I'm looking at the clock. All right, bro, where'd you go? Q Dog, you there? Q Dog, all right. We're gonna hold his feet to the fire. You there, Q Dog?
I'm here, bro.
All right, because when 2 or 3 are gathered, the truth is there. But maybe you can help me with this. Dame, is you there? Oh, Dame, he don't want to come up here. Q Dog's nicer. He's nicer than okay. Where is he at? Where is he at? He had to go get his combat. He had to go get his military equipment, his fatigues.
Come on, Dame. Normally you be anxious to come up here. We got questions for you.
Yeah,
bro.
we got a question. Okay. He don't want to. He ran. They said he ran. All right. Yeah.
He kept asking why. He came in at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's something Trump did yesterday. But you know what? I guess if I was him, I'd say, you know what? Okay, he manned up. He manned up. All right, fair enough. All right, Dame, are you there?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you lead to the alley.
All right. So what we're gonna do is you saw what Donald Trump did at the DOJ yesterday, right?
What did he do? What he did? What did he do?
Okay, so he hung a banner up, and so I'll show it to us all, and because we're all men of color, we're black men. I just wanted to get your honest opinion about this. I really did. All right. Okay, let me get this thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, now I can't, since I have guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have to keep them in the box. All right, but you can see the screen, right? You can see the screen. That's Laura Coates. All right, listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that, bro? You see that, Dame?
Make America safe again.
You're okay with that, right?
Let me see. I see a sign that says "Make America Safe Again." What's wrong with that?
Don't black people tend to be, convicted at a lot higher rate than at the higher rate, right? But don't you think it's inappropriate for him to put that on top of the DOJ?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I don't see what's wrong with making America safe.
Spell it out. MASA. How does that sound when you say it?
Make America safe again.
Yeah. But how does it spell it out?
MASA.
Now, how does it pronounce it?
Masa. Mesa.
Q-Dog.
I think you're reaching a little bit.
I'm here.
What up, Q, man? Happy Black History Month, man. My first time talking to you this month.
Black History Month, brother.
Dang. Did you think anything of that, Q-Dog? It to me says Massa right on the DOJ.
Thanks, Eddie.
Exactly. Massa. See, they do subliminal things right in front of your face, and you're not even picking up on it. You're not picking up what they putting down. I was looking at a documentary on YouTube about prison systems and whatnot. And the majority, these are people that were actually incarcerated. And they said the majority of the people in prison are blacks and Latinos, basically. Divided up, segregated with race. And the brother was saying he's out now. The brother was saying that the minority was the majority was white folks in there, white T folks, with the swastikas and so forth. But the thing of the matter is they put more focus on the black and brown folks in there.
Why you say that, Q?
I'm just telling you what this brother said. And that was incarcerated for I think he said 20 years. And it's the fact of the matter is we all know that prisons are put together as a source of business. It's a business. The more people you put in prison, the more money that the government gets.
But a lot of these prisons are actually suing some of our cities here in America because they're not getting filled. A lot of those prisons are empty. Crime is lower. Trump is just stopping the radical left at every evil corner. Every way they try to siphon.
But hold on, my question is, Dave, when you're talking about prison systems, right? Mm-hmm. And you're saying that they're not filled. How is it that they're rounding up criminals, and instead of putting them in prison and going through due process to have them deported, if that's the case, why is it that they're circumventing the system and just going straight to deporting, which is illegal? They've already debunked multiple times. Why is it that they're not taking? You just admitted out of your own mouth that the prisons are suing the people that own the prisons are suing the government because they're not being filled up. We know why it's not being filled up, because they're circumventing. They're not sending them directly to prison because they know they're not convicted criminals.
But I want to say this though, on top of that, because we're short on time. But Dame, on top of that, let's not pretend like that doesn't say massa. That's what bothers me. You know what massa means, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think Trump did that, man.
Oh,
I
in the
really
middle,
don't.
in the middle of Black History Month, he chose to show the world who massa is.
He been in office over a year. He just decides in February he's going to put that.
Think about this, Dame.
Let me take him to another level.
He know you. He knows
He know where I'm going with this.
He trying to go left. We got that. He trying to go down.
Think
We
about
there.
Grandma.
It ain't working, Dame.
Think about Grandma. Zeus. Dame. Speak on Grandma. That sound like an old slave. Don't you talk about massa like that. Don't you talk about Trump. Speak about that.
And you heard her, Dame. And you heard her, Dame. You heard
She would
her.
have did that. My grandmother would have did that for Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. She would have reacted just like that. She loved them two just like that, just like Grandma loved Trump.
Now help me understand this, Dame. Now we can gather that Grandma is probably pushing like in her mid-70s, early to mid-70s, old enough to be in the time and era where hoses were sprayed and dogs were sick on black folks down in Alabama, and for fraternity brother that just passed on to Omega, was there to witness that. Now you're telling, and she's around that age. Now you're going to tell me that you witnessed that as a child. I'm going to say she probably was a child, teenager when that was going on. And then you decide to advocate for a person that's doing the same thing, if not worse, around this time frame with ICE.
Yeah.
Because these ICE agents, they doing the same thing and we'll call them, we're not even going to call them police officers, we're going to call them slave catchers. That they did back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Dame knows this. Dame knows this.
It's same uniform, just a different day.
Group prisons are suing not to be held liable for harming prisoners. Oh, thank you, Jim. W's in the chat. See, Dame doesn't talk about that. So, and again, I didn't realize I'm well past my time slot, but Dame, this is it. Do you think Donald Trump is a racist after seeing more evidence like this? You can't just say this is random. He's sending a message. Massa, middle of Black History Month, at the DOJ.
Did you see the post he made with him and Jesse Jackson about Jesse Jackson?
Where he disparaged Obama?
Did you see his response to the monkey pics? Did you see his response? How he's been responding ever since?
Where he disparaged Obama.
He don't like Obama. We already know he don't like Obama. But that's nothing new. That's nothing new.
So you can't acknowledge Massa. You can't acknowledge Massa as racist. I just don't know when you're going to end up realizing this, bro.
But you know, Zeus, the question of the day is, his whole campaign was "Make America Great Again."
True.
We all know where that phrase came from.
The Triple K.
Why didn't he put that on the banner?
Yeah.
If that was the case, why did he change it to "Make America Great Again" and instead of putting "Make America Safe Again"?
Yeah,
because we got record low unalivements this year. We got record low ODs. We have record low crime. That's why
we've already talked about crime. A lot of crime that's going on in America. A lot of crime that should be reported, Dame, isn't being reported. They're only counting the crime Black folk and people of color commit for the most part. The white crime is being undercounted. The white crime is being undercounted, bro. So that building represents, as far as I'm concerned, injustice to Black and brown people. Quite a bit of it, actually. And then he puts his banner on it that reads Massa.
I got a bigger question. I got a bigger question for you. Hold on, Dave. Hold on, Dame.
I
got a
win.
bigger question for you.
The name of Young Boy tour that he just finished was called Massa, Make America Slime Again. Only you look at stuff like that, Zeus.
Dame,
You got
Dame,
TDS.
I got a bigger
Normal
question
people,
for you.
Normal
Hold
people
on.
don't look at that and say Massa.
Dame, I got a bigger
literally
question
just
for
went
you.
around this country and the name of his tour was Massa.
So now he's Young Boy. Now you putting Young Boy and Trump in the same basket.
Actually, no. But speaking of Young Boy, Trump got him out of prison.
And so now he the face of Massa. Now he's showing you what Massa doing. Thank you, Dame. W.
This is what
Thank you. You're cooking yourself.
You and Q conveniently talk about all the stuff he do bad to black communities, but I wanted to ask Q. Hold on, Q. I answered your Q. Now, when you compare President Trump to the last few presidents, have President Trump got more black men in prison or got them out of prison? Be honest, Q.
In
prison. I got a bigger question. I got a nail in the coffin question.
Really,
for you, Zeus?
Yeah.
I got a nail in the coffin question.
Go ahead, hit him with the nail in the coffin.
So we seen just recently the situation with the MAGA that was trans, and we seen the situation with the white T man that did an unaliving. Tell me, when has either one of their names or any white T man in the last 30 days that did some type of heinous crime, have you heard any of their names come out of Pam Bondi's mouth?
Nope.
Have you seen her post a pick up a picture like she did in that trial?
Nope.
Did you see her pick up any picture of any one of those white T men?
W's in the chat for Q Dog. So Dame, and she's doing it. They're doing it all in the middle of Black History Month, bro. You gotta wake up and come out of this, all right? And that's just something you gotta think about. Q Dog cooked in book. And, but honestly, gentlemen, Big Zeus has to get up out of here.
Nah, I rock with you, man.
No doubt.
Thank you. All right. So we've debunked another lie that the right doesn't want us to address, but we did it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this special huge round of applause for Dame. Make no mistake, just like I know, that is a racist banner and it spells massa, and yet he will use black folks to get away with it, just like he's been using you and the rest of you that follow Dame, all right? But you know what? A hard head makes for a soft behind, ladies and gentlemen. All right, seriously, Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. I want to give all of you a huge, huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in this Friday. I got to get up out of here. Special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and very, very educational. All right. But on a serious note, I got to do one last round of booze and shame. And this is for all the Trump supporters. Besides Dame. Dame was the only one brave enough to get on the show today. But DJ and all of you lowlifes who sat there and watched Donald Trump rob the American people of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with these tariffs, and you had no words, no apologies to us today. We're sorry for we put this criminal in here and allowed him to just rob us all blind. You didn't apologize to us. Do us a huge favor and go straight to hell. Go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe. We are out of here.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up.
Wow, what a long show. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, exhausting. Let's go!
Came from the trenches, now we balling at the top.
Hey! Presidential, wash the eyes.
Drip too saucy, got the
welcome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
1600 on the throne.
Out here looking brilliant. No skibidi. I'm the GOAT, flow sharper than the blade.
For attacks, make these clowns.
Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Busting moves, no mid, got the game in a choke.
Eat it to doubt. Now my legacy's hitting. W. Marissa.
From the Bay to DC, I keep them on their toes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dame. Let's go, W. Cindy. A1. W. Ange. W. all in the chat. Love to you. Yeah, making history right here. Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Got my foot on the gas.
I'm bulletproof, yeah, my aura is
built to last. Slap with the plan, moving chess, not checkers. Presidential flex.
Got my game on the necklace. Level up.
Have a great rest of your weekend. We ain't gon' never stop. No cap, we lit, yeah. Woo, thank you, Marissa. Let's go. Posted in the Capitol. Moving like I own the block. Risk game presidential. Got the nation in a lock. You know, no facade. Drip celestial. Shining brighter than a star. Got the vision, HD, clear, slap with the moves, turn your dreams into chandeliers. I do that, don't I? 1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Hey! Trap sold in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing, prime presidential, residential. Got the poles in a climb, no cap. I'm the vibe, turn the calm in the storm. Got the world dropping bombs. Ops trying to glitch, but my code is unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable. Who comes up with lines like this, ladies and gentlemen, except for me, the Rizzler? Whole world flip, busted off the charts, got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a show. All right, I'm out of here. Take care.